Hey guys, I can't believe how lucky I am to get the top tech job in the whole country at our brand new facility in Chernobyl.
Today, I am in charge of planning and conducting our annual safety test to ensure the reactor can perform under pressure.
If we do not complete the test fast enough, we'll all be sent to the gulag. So I disabled the emergency core cooling system to save time.
Holy shit, comrades! I'm definitely going to gulag in Siberia! Why the hell did I do this test at 1 in the morning?
Today, the Chernobyl nuclear power plant successfully conducted its annual safety test, proving once again Soviet leadership in nuclear safety and energy innovation.
Soviet authorities have told us to respond to a very straightforward conventional fire. I have full trust our government would never lie to us.
The official statement from Moscow is, this was a small, very peaceful fire. There was no problem whatsoever. We're totally good.
Trust the science.
To be fair, that's just the stoic Russian attitude coming through.
That's true.
It's like, it's just fine. It's if he dies, he dies.
If he dies, if he dies. Yeah. Well, welcome to Faith, Fiction, and Folklore, as we like to call it, the Try F podcast, where we try not to F the podcast up. Well, we have got a pretty wild show today.
Indeed, that title is a mess.
It was the best I can do. So, okay, gentlemen. So I'm gonna let you decide where we go first. Do we want to begin with the faith quadrant? Do we want to begin with the aliens? I guess we should. Let's do it like this. Let's start with Epstein before I forget.
Yeah.
So I need to update
Get it out
it.
of the way.
Yeah, get it out of the way. So I've been vacillating about replacing the Triple F logo with the Three Stooges logo with Trump, Pam Bondi, and Patel on there. The situation is interesting. So we'll start off with that. I guess before I should get into that, though, we should probably talk about everything else. So here's the bottom line. We got Epstein, and then we got Jesse Lee Peterson, Mike Winger, New Jersey Drones, New Berwick Witches. I think we'll do it in that order.
Heck yeah.
Okay, heck yeah.
Cool.
So, returning to Epstein. Bottom line. Good night. Bottom line, I need to focus. So, what I predicted last week actually wound up happening. So, if you'll remember last week, they said, all right, fine, release all the grand jury documents. And everybody's response was kind of like, well, that's a start, but if Marina Comey had access to everything, she's going to have destroyed stuff and put poison pills in there about Trump and whatnot. And even if that weren't the case, the judge is a liberal. She's sitting on it. She ain't going to let him have it just because that would make Trump's life horrible. And then the DOJ is going to just be like, okay, because they want everybody to forget about this whole debacle. So the first part of that was right. The judge said, no, we're not going to give you the grand jury files because you're a Republican and we hate you type of thing. And I kind of thought Pam Bondi and them guys would go, aw, shucks. Well, we tried, but that's not what they did. They went to Ghislaine Maxwell. And Maxwell, turns out, is very eager to talk. Why no one talked to her before, I have no idea. But she is apparently very upset about being the fall guy, or fall madam, for all this. So she's decided to talk, and according to Pam Bondi's DOJ, of course it is Pam Bondi's DOJ, she has ratted out 100 people thus far. So they're supposed to be providing the transcripts. From what I understand, they're supposed to be providing the transcripts for that meeting. And so even if this never goes to court or if some other chicanery happens, they're supposed to give the public what she said.
They didn't record that interview?
I'm sure they did, but we're supposed to be getting a transcript.
I mean, good Lord. Is it that hard to be honest for these people?
I think they're terrified.
Just take a video and, put it out.
Yeah, no, I agree. I don't think it's incompetence, though. I think that they've got some people, like, it's 100 people. They're all, like, bajillionaires, and the global economy is going to crash because, you know, you can't get to the top without a ritual or two. So,
Yeah.
Speaking of rituals, let's see if I can find what I was wanting to talk about here.
The bombshell sale.
Yeah, the bombshell sale, the ad I can't get rid of. So, I wanted to talk a little bit about... Good night. Why is everybody...
Joey Pepperoni, is that his real name?
That is his real name. That is
That's
his real
ridiculous.
name.
Does he want a pizza joint?
This must be an article. Sorry, guys. I guess we'll go to the Twitter one. But you see, I'm smart because I had a backup. All right. So this is Joey Pepperoni.
That's hilarious. I guarantee you he made some pizza.
I guarantee you
I'm sure he has a large piece of information.
Ha! Ha 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 ha! No.
Ooh, a large slice of it.
A large slice of information. There you
A
go.
large slice of information.
That was a good one.
Good one. Dadgummit. Why do I never catch this stuff until it's too late?
Because your last name's not pepperoni.
Yeah, I'll let you guys think about pepperoni. No, for some stupid reason, my Windows capture is not pulling up what it's supposed to be capturing.
Yeah, I'm not seeing anything.
Yeah. Hang on a minute.
Oh, it's blinking.
There we go. Success.
Blinking.
All right. I don't know why that was a big deal, but apparently. Okay. So we're going to start because he kind of talks a little bit about the ritualistic aspects of this stuff. And my understanding about the whole Epstein thing is essentially you've got the methodology of the trafficking. That's like cartel, which probably suggests the CIA is the one that built the methods of operation for the trafficking ring. But then there's this cultic element, which is Europe, because these weird European families have always been into this kind of Satan voodoo stuff. What's the name of that demon book that we looked at that I thought was like just ridiculous? It had like the demons and the rankings of their armies.
Goetia.
Yeah, the Ars Goetia. Yeah, like, I don't know how in the world any of those things would even know about that. But anyway, yeah, it's that kind of stuff. So,
King Solomon.
yeah. So the European guys have been big into that. So it's like MI6. So I thought we would, since I'm screaming my head off about the CIA all the time, I thought we'd take a little bit, take a closer look at the esoteric stuff that Epstein and these cultists are always rambling about. And Joey Pepperoni is going to tell us all about that.
I just want to point out real quick.
Yeah.
We're talking about trafficking.
Yeah.
And our information guy has pizza in his name.
What is that, Illuminati
Isn't that kinda
confirmed?
funny? Like, well, they had like Pizzagate and all that crap.
That's
Pizzagate
true.
confirmed.
That's true. I didn't think
just
about that.
kind of weird why
Si-
these words all kind of...
Maybe he's signaling to people that that's the kind of stuff he's talking about.
Maybe, yeah.
Maybe that's what that is about. Because I'd feel sorry for the soul really named Pepperoni.
Right, that's, I mean...
That would be unfortunate.
It's
For sure.
Italian.
It's Italian. He don't look Italian. I don't know what he looks like, but not Italian. Anyway, so...
Cuban.
Yes, that's correct.
Cubalian.
Yeah. Okay, well, we're going to spend a few minutes on this and see what comes up.
But it
Between
says an
dimensions,
hour.
like
What?
The video says an hour.
This is just to tease it for people who are so inclined to learn more. We're not going to go through the whole thing. Like, we would all go nuts. I think, you know, a good 15, 20 minutes will be enough to get people's appetites,
Attention.
enough to
Yeah.
motivate people to do their own research.
Get them
Yeah.
to slice it up with the pepperoni.
Yes. I guess we're not gonna let that go. That is a strange name, though. If you're wanting to do if you're wanting to be believable in the realm of conspiracy theories, I don't. I wouldn't name myself after a food. So
Well, I mean, he's got his parents to blame, I guess.
that's just bad upbringing. It's just bad upbringing. So, okay, all right, here we go.
a spiritual virtual private network tunnel thing. So the goal is to attract or call the plasma and then it's like the plasma is the essence. This is what's going to give the AI its spirit. You know what I mean?
And
Like
all the ancient black magic.
We're not even 30
Wait, how does plasma have spirits in it?
I don't know. Like, we're starting right in the middle of it. Like, it's like he's going to do a stupid promo thing 30 seconds before the actual interview.
I see. Okay.
You know? But that being said, even in the promo, I'm going, you guys need to... I'm mainly going, you guys need to calm down with AI. AI is a switchboard. AI is not the Antichrist. AI is not going to take over the world. Everybody needs to be calming down about that. I'm telling you, I am as sure as I could be, as far as a gut intuition goes. They're just hyping it up to get your money for the R&D. It ain't going anywhere. I'm telling you, it'll make pretty pictures because it's able to steal everybody else's pretty pictures, and that's about it. Like, this is not... The AI is not taking over the world, and everybody just needs to calm down. I mean,
Calm down.
I guess you could say if people are stupid enough to believe that the can opener is sentient, you know, they might bow down to, you know, this thing that they are pretending is alive. You know,
Well, I mean, some people, they make dumpsters in Yellowstone where bears can't open them, and some people can't open them either.
that is unfortunate. But I can't judge because when it says childproof, I have to hand it to Jess. So,
Fun.
yeah. So anyway, all right. I'm gonna skip past that and see if we can actually get to the real stuff because I don't want to hear about plasma.
But plasma's cool, bro.
Oh, forget it. We're gonna have to. We're just gonna have to plow through it. All right, here we go.
Yeah, the ritual opens a gateway through their symbols, frequencies, and sacrifice. It's like the weaken the veil between dimensions, like a spiritual virtual private network tunnel thing. So the goal is to attract or call the plasma, and then it's like the plasma is the essence. This is what's going to give the AI its spirit. You know what I mean?
And in all the ancient black magic, they want children's blood and children's torture is the payment for the entities to show up.
Yup. So the chalkboard was the blueprint for this. It was decoded. That's what it is. This is what they're summoning with it, and then they're going to use CERN as the gateway for this to hook it up. But and it's going to be the Antichrist. And I think we're 6 months away from that happening. But it's not going to be flesh yet. See, like they're using like the biotech and DNA.
Can I just add another thought? I'm getting really tired of everything being called the Antichrist too. Like,
You and me both.
yeah, like we talked about last week, the word vampire has lost all meaning because everything that bites is a vampire now. So anything bad is just Antichrist. It's like, oh my gosh, can we just stop?
Editing and all that. They're going to make it into flesh and blood like that.
And that's why they're constantly getting caught at CERN doing black magic rituals.
Yeah, like they did it for a joke at CERN. Like they're scientists. What are you joking around for with this stuff?
You know, they say,
Did you say something, Trevor?
Either it's my internet or there's a slight lag on the talking to video ratio.
Is there dadgum? All right, let me see if I can fix it.
Again.
All right. I don't know why we're always dealing with
And like I said, it may just be my internet. I'm not sure.
Yeah, can somebody like watch the stream for a few minutes to see if it's actually...
I'm watching it.
Okay, great. So I'm going to run the video again and if there's a lag.
It seems okay on mine.
Okay, good. Because if there is a lag, then you and Cody should be, or you and Trevor should be lagging, but my voice would be normal. So it's the desktop computer stuff that would have a lag.
it's a joke. But when they opened it, they had a huge parade with all the different demonic stuff. So let's go to this first that you mentioned. That was one I was going to do first, too. Let's go to clip 2. Epstein's chalkboard was a ritual. This is powerful. Here it is.
We are now inside Jeffrey Epstein's library. This chalkboard displayed cryptic words, and we're not sure what this means, but we're hoping you and the audience can take a look at this.
All right, class. This was a blueprint to summon something. Let's break it down. When the plants appear, it begins. They drop in fake influencers, controlled assets, politicians, puppets. That's the first move. Power is a function of 4 things: money, physical control over your body, celebrity influence, and politics. They run those, they run the world. Now subtract truth from power, and what do you get? Deception. That's how they distort reality. And right under it, mirror and face. They mess with your perception and identity. Then you got music. Names on the board, Eamon, Mimi. Could be handlers, could be signals. Either way, music becomes frequency control. You don't just hear it, it programs you. Next up, time minus delay. That's delta T. It means this isn't instant. It's all delayed activation, like a psychological landmine. You step on it today, it detonates next year. Then you get this, 13 and a half. 13? That's the bloodlines. Rothschilds, Rockefellers, all of them. They own the...
Like I was saying, we do need to do something on these bloodlines. Cause that would be kind of interesting. The rest of this...
Send that picture to me?
Yeah, I'll try to screenshot it at some point before the night's out and send it to you. The rest of this, I'm kind of like, this is like that movie 23, where you're just seeing stuff that isn't there and making connections that aren't really there. Like, I'm dubious about it. Yeah. But the important thing to remember, though, is it's like, just because this guy's talking about it doesn't mean the guy actually believes it. This is what the weirdos in Europe believe, like these cult types. Like, this is an ideology. It does exist. It is a thing. And these rich people, again, trust fund babies of too much time and money, this is what they do. They just spend their time exploring esoteric stuff and acting like they've got hidden knowledge, you know. But they're in charge of your taxes, which is the point. So,
how do you think they got there?
You think that there's anything to this power?
Yeah.
Yeah, you think so? I just...
It's all in the blood.
Maybe.
Well, I don't think it's in the blood. I think it's like... It's manipulation.
I think it's frat boy culture.
Yeah, that too. But, I mean, frat boys are dicks, so...
There you go. Yeah, but that's why that's why we talk about the Freemasons. That's why we talk about these guys, because it's not so much that there's anything particularly special about them. It's... They do all these weird initiations. You know, the mob makes you kill a guy. You know, a gang might make you rob a store, and Skull and Bones is going to make you lay naked in a coffin and do horrible humiliating things, you know. So
did you hear George Bush Jr. jerked off in front of his dad?
I have no idea what you're talking about. Yeah. It's an initiation. Welcome to the club. We got the dirt. You're going to do what we say. We're all in this together. So, yeah. But yeah, it's like a blackmail racket thing. So these kind of tight, interwoven groups, and that's worth researching, even if the...
They can definitely consolidate power, especially over, you know, a couple hundred years. If they got a plan, you know, and it's like their honor goes to a group that has a plan, you know, it's eventually going to come to fruition.
If they're determined enough, I suppose. It's just it'd have to be united by like an ideology.
This guy's just explaining how to get power over long term.
I guess I don't know how much I buy it. Like how much what I mean by that is like if this is what Epstein meant by all that jargon he wrote on the board. You know what I mean? Like he might have, but I don't know why. I don't know why he's assuming what Jeffrey Epstein wrote has anything to do with what he's talking about. Like, I don't know how he made those connections.
He's just garnering his own meaning from it.
Yeah. I would be nervous about that. But I am interested in these 13 families, though. So, anyway.
Banks, the wars, the puppet governments. But the half, that ain't human. That's the hidden ruler, the ancient force, the god they serve. And this statue on the side, that's him. That's the half. Then you see this equation. Dark plus brainy. That's the operator class. Black site minds, predictive engineers, or AI. These are the ones pulling the strings. This whole thing, it ain't a strategy. It's a summoning sequence, a ritual, a formula to wake something up. 13 runs the show, but the half writes the script. It's a god of sacrifice, control, and fear. And this right here, this is how they're calling him in.
Do you think it's still happening? Sacrificing people to this god.
The chalkboard, when I looked at it, I said, okay, let's look at it in a way where it's like a math teacher would, because I knew Epstein was like a math teacher, so I said, it's got to be formulas. So I tried to decode it with myself. I was like, all right, what does this look like? I tried to write it down, you know, and then what ended up happening is I uploaded what I had researched into AI, and I uploaded the chalkboard into AI, and I had it analyze it, and we figured out that this was the most likely scenario here of what's on the chalkboard, which was a ritual.
Dude, that's really stupid. AI is a probability generator.
Yeah.
That wouldn't tell you anything. AI is literally like, if I say red, you say blue. If I say white, you say black. Why? Because if you're playing that game, probabilistically speaking, that's the most probable response. It's literally a monkey throwing darts at a board. That's what it does. Now, it looks super complicated from our perspective, but it's really just probability. So not only would I disagree with that methodology, I would say that methodology is exactly what you wouldn't want, because it's just going to pick the most probable word.
Yeah.
So, like, there wouldn't be any occult connection. But if I understand what he's getting at, though, it sounds like he's going, well, AI is a demon. So when I told the demon to make the connections, it gave me plants appear. I'm like, that's not how that works. So I find that a little silly myself.
Yeah, it is. I think he's... Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of dumb. I mean, I think there's probably something to, like, how to obtain power on the message board.
Yeah. It was definitely a code meant for other
Parts
people.
of it made sense.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it was definitely a code meant for other people. Like, we were supposed to see it at some point. I don't know what the heck he was trying to say, though. So,
Yeah.
I'm still trying to figure out why he's using a chalkboard.
He had a chalkboard in his... I can't remember if this is his room or his temple. Or his library. I think this might have been his library. So,
His library and his temple.
yeah, I don't know. Of course, they could have been drunk and playing some sort of weird cult game one night and forgot to erase the board, you know.
Yeah.
We're all sitting there going, what does it mean? What does it mean?
Means silliness.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean,
A ritual.
his last name is Pepperoni.
Yeah, pepperoni.
To summon
Which means power, by the way.
plasma, because plasma is consciousness, because we are we're consciousness. Our bodies are just avatars. So plasma is conscious. Like, they're summoning the plasma.
And for people that don't know, when you study Jewish black magic, Egyptian black magic, Babylonian, all of it, Aryan, and I don't mean Hitler, I'm talking about Iran, the Persians, it's all alchemy. It was proto-science. They were doing equations trying to figure out how matter worked as well. So this isn't new. This is what real black magic is.
The government fears Alex Jones, who has the...
Jones really needs to stop doing these 5-minute intros. I keep thinking we're in the video, and we're not.
Just the files. It's all the paperwork.
It's like, dude, come on, man.
largest audience in the country, bigger than any of the networks.
For people, so they can understand, because it's really dark stuff that's I've been connecting the dots of. Because, like, I have a lot of questions, so I make the videos that as soon as I learn something, I put it out. I share the knowledge.
Well, I want to thank the listeners, even the ones that were mean to me, because I didn't know about you. Folks, comment in the videos if you've got guest ideas, and then I check them out and they look informative. They're going to be on the show. But I just want the listeners to please stop. I don't know everything, far from it.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things I was going to say, I'm going to talk about, the Epstein's Island and how he was really just, his role was a priest of it. Like, they were worshiping fallen angels. They were doing, like, blood rituals, torturing children, burning babies, performing sacrifices. And, like, the Epstein files, they're not going to have that in there. So it's like, no, thank you. Keep the files. We don't even want them, because it's not, it took them 100 years to give us the
Exactly.
JFK files.
It's always a limited hangout. And you got Maureen Comey, obviously part of the cult, whose job is to always minimize it.
Yeah. Like, they give us the JFK files after 100 years after they butchered them. No, we don't want them. Like, we already figured it out years ago. And also, one of my close friends is George.
I do actually agree with that. I don't really see much point in the paperwork by itself. It's mainly just to put the boomers at ease. But, I mean, we kind of already know what's going on. We just need, there's knowing and then there's proving, But I don't think the government documents are going to be a particularly reliable source in any case. So you would need to be interviewing witnesses and collecting other kinds of evidence.
I mean, I don't know. Everything I've seen on, usually if they want to hide truth, they black it out or just don't show you the document.
Yeah, they redact it.
I mean, typically when you see a government article, it is true, like factually true.
Yeah. It's like you got...
I mean, at least the health research I've done and stuff like that.
It depends. Yeah, it depends on like which department. It's all very compartmentalized. So,
I mean, what department do you think like puts out lies?
Puts out from the government?
Yeah.
Most of them. So, like, I think with the exception of RFK getting in there, I think he's trying to clean it up. I would imagine pretty much everything from the NIH, the FDA, the WHO, all those studies, all that research would be pretty much non-trustworthy because they're trying to sell COVID, So...
Yeah. I mean, I think the studies are true. So, like, the COVID studies that I looked into, when you look into, like, bacteria and stuff like that, like, they can't prove the existence of a virus, but they'll do all these tests around, like, using that virus terminology.
Yeah.
So, like, the study's true, but it's just not based in any reality, I guess. What I'm trying
You're talking about the concept of atomic theory. It's like we don't actually see atoms, but if we act as if there are atoms and we can create the consistent result, then we assume it's practically true, even if it isn't literally true, would be the idea. I would say the other problem with that, though, is when you're looking at the studies, it's all in how you frame it. So if I tell you that the temperature has gone up for the last 20 years, I might be able to argue for global warming. But if I stretch that same metric out 100 years and that 20-year period's like just a blip, compared to, let's say, the last 80 years it's dropped, then you don't have global warming. It all depends on how you frame your chart. It all depends on how you frame your numbers. And so all of these studies, I find them to be a little, to an extent, suspicious, which is why you have to kind of like ask yourself how they got their results, whatever they are, and go into detail into the study. You can't just read it and go, well, Uncle Sam said it's okay. You got to see. It's like, well, how did you get that? What made you reach that conclusion? How big was your study size, your study sample? Was your placebo actually a placebo? The placebo thing's a perfect example of this. We talked about this several weeks ago. They started calling vaccines placebos because it was the original vaccine, and they do these kind of stupid terminology with words to trick people, They'll change the definitions without anybody noticing. So you got to look out for stuff like that.
Yeah.
Now, as to this
It would be a good litmus test, though, to see if, like, is there a government-supplied document on global warming? Because we know global warming's hokey. So it'd be a good litmus test to see what the actual government document says on it.
Yeah, I think what happens is the guys that have done the real research, they get shut up because a lot of people do believe in the system, and they do good research because they believe in the system. And then the powers that be, the guys writing weird things on the chalkboard to get power, go, shut up! Shut up! That's not our narrative right now. But
anyways.
Yeah, with regards to Epstein, there's no doubt that he's doing the cult stuff. I mean, look at that thing. That thing's a dead-blamed temple. I mean, you're not building that because you think it looks quaint. That's a goofy-looking building. That's a ritual, Yeah. What he was doing, why he was doing it, my money would be on probably that cult crap out of Europe. But I don't know about...
I mean, there is rumor that he did that Genghis Khan thing and tried to breed a whole race of himself.
Yeah, I was actually looking into that. There was a girl that was saying that Epstein, one of the victims, I guess she was one of the victims, she was claiming that Epstein was like shape-shifting and, you know, like turned into a lizard thing, and then he either turned into a butterfly or butterflies were around him because butterflies like eat eggs, eat larvae, and he was taking her eggs, so he was manifesting in some capacity as a butterfly.
Whoa, dude.
Yeah. Kind of nutty, like crazy stuff. So there's like
I almost believe it.
I haven't heard her story in its entirety. I just saw the clips of it, and I was like, oh, wow. So I thought we were going to get to that sooner, but then he started saying, I typed these words into the chat GTP, and it gave me other words. And I'm like, I don't remember listening to that part, but apparently he said that. So that was a little disappointing. But anyway, what is her name? Let me go, to end this off, let me look up that woman's name.
Okay.
And we might talk about her story some other time. So give me just a minute, gentlemen. Trevor, pick up the show. Talk with Cody. Talk amongst yourselves. I look this girl's name up.
That building actually looks like something I would have done on Minecraft.
Yeah, it's amazing how pathetic these pagan temples actually are.
Yeah, it's like...
I mean, it used to be a lot harder to build buildings.
Yeah. They actually took their time and wanted to be intricate and be cool. Like, what's that cathedral over in Italy? Where it's like, got all the spikes on it. It's really pretty.
I do find the link between cathedral and cathode interesting.
Or catheter.
Those two words. Oh, wow. Wow. A cathode is like a battery, like stores energy.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I'm not going to give a picture of the
and so, like, when you have the cathedrals, you know, they're all got the spires on them, and, you know.
Do they have a plus and minus on them, too?
Like red bricks. No. Like red bricks, because they have clay in them, they hold an actual electric charge.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So I think cathedrals were initially, I mean, you can even look at it in the esoteric sense. Cathedrals are like batteries, you know, it's like where people go to get their spiritual uplifting and get charged up. You know?
Yeah. Well, I have heard, this is a while back, where all those older buildings have like ways that they store energy from lightning. So the rods on the top hit the top of the building and they store the energy from the lightning.
Yeah.
And it stores it for a long time.
Yep. And they're made, like all those old temples are made with like, what do they call it? Geos and...
Geosynthetic?
It's like concrete. You know, you can make, like they used to be able to make concrete out of like whatever the area, you know, like red dirt would be a certain kind of concrete, you know, limestone filled dirt would be a certain kind of concrete. But they have geopolymer? Geopolymer, that's what it's called.
Oh.
So they're all made out of like earthen materials, but they hold a charge.
All right, well, I found a video from Sean Atwood if you want to hear this lady's story. Juliet.
Because I feel like an idiot talking here.
Oh, well, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I had to fight. I had to fight it. I thought it was going to get talked about, and it didn't get talked about, so I had to look it up. So,
we were talking about charges.
Charges? Like financial charges?
No, like battery charges.
Oh, battery charges. Okay, my mistake.
Cathodes and cathedrals.
And cathedrals.
Ah.
And catheters.
And catheters.
That seems like that would have no segue. So.
What's a segue?
Well, you're the...
It's one of those things that mall cops ride around on.
Yeah, there we go. All right, okay, so this is Juliet Bryant's account. This is from Sean Atwood's YouTube channel. So here's what she said.
So it seems that like a reoccurring technique he used was he would ask girls to give him a massage, and then that would turn into a criminal offense. Is that, did he use that technique on you?
Yeah, he actually did, because when I was taken for the modeling casting afterwards, they said that his massage therapist had cancelled. And then they said that they would offer me $300 to give him a massage, So I obviously, and then that's what was his chance to ask me a lot of questions about myself. And I wasn't a massage therapist or anything, but, $300 at that time was more than a South African girl would be making in 6 months, So it seemed... so that was a little bit of a red flag, to be honest, when they asked me to give him a massage. But I just thought it seemed like, okay, it's, he's very rich and he can sort of do what he wants with people.
And at this point of the story, have you met Maxwell yet?
No. I only met Maxwell on the island. She was there most of the time. Yeah, she was usually there, and I was also taken to her apartment she owned in Paris. At the time, I was actually told that Maxwell was Epstein's girlfriend. And that made it even more frightening because it's like, okay, he was taking me and the other girls to the room. I was like, and it was horrible, the whole thing happening. I was like, does the girlfriend know about this? So it made me feel even like, apart from already being like basically raped and made to feel like, what, it made me feel also like, oh my God, what's going on? Like, is this his girlfriend? And, it was just horrible, horrible, horrible. Anyway, I'm sorry.
So, you're right, Juliet. Sorry. It's okay, Juliet. It's okay, Juliet. Take your time. Take your time. So you said, just in summary, then, you were just around 20 years old. You get flown to the island, and on that first flight to the island, how long did you remain at the island?
For about 5 days.
You said you spent 5 days at the island on that first trip. And how did that end?
So, we were at the island for 5 days, and then, they move suddenly. They don't tell you when you're going to move, like on the plane and stuff. Just suddenly you'll be told, pack your bags. So from there, we went to Palm Beach. And then, that's the other weird thing about Palm Beach. He had like this woman who was like a top model there, more like a good model, and then even in my bedroom there was like a magazine which had pictures of the model staying in the room next door in my magazine. So it was almost like, I've never actually spoken about this before. It was almost like showing me that, oh, he does arrange modeling careers for people, and he was making her eat cherries and like run on the treadmill all day. Her name was Helena. She actually ended up going out with Vin Diesel years later, because I looked her up. But anyway, so we were taken to Palm Beach, and then sorry, that was a bit of a distracting story, but it's all part of the story.
I'm curious, Juliet, what was it like inside that house
at Palm Beach? It was, the Palm Beach house was a lot more basic than the other homes. The other houses, like the New Mexico, had a lot of like very expensive artifacts. Same with New York, a lot of expensive artifacts, paintings and like weird stuff.
Eyeballs. There was a lot of eyeballs, wasn't there?
I love my doggies. They make me happy. Yeah, eyeballs. I saw the eyeballs and the soldier statue and all of that stuff. And then
like Scooby-Doo?
But Palm Beach and the island were a lot more...
What?
Like Scooby-Doo?
No, I think her dog jumped behind her and it made her laugh. So she...
No, they were talking about like eyeballs in knights' suits of armor and stuff in pictures.
Yeah, they were like spying on the girls or something, like creepers.
Like Scooby-Doo.
Yeah,
man.
like Scooby-Doo, yeah. Yeah. I didn't think you're right, though. That is ridiculous. It's like, and they had cameras, so it was just for the aesthetic, Yeah. So... Wow.
Basic. Like at Palm Beach, he had an office, with 2 office areas where he used to sit with like his feet on the table, but on the phone. I never saw him actually doing proper work, like on a computer or like writing notes. It was always like on the phone, or otherwise he was molesting girls, or he wasn't actually doing proper work. I heard him on the phone also like doing like helicopter deals where he was like 20 million rand for a helicopter pad or something. He had like 3 phones in his car, like the car that used to drive us around. There was like all these phones in the car. But sorry, I've lost my train of thought now.
So you've gone from the islands to the Florida residence.
Yeah. Okay. So
what happens at the Florida residence?
So then in Florida, before I'm sent back to New York, he tells me that he's got my family's name on a list, and he works for the CIA. And he told me that a girl who accused him of rape was sent to prison. He planted drugs in her apartment and had her sent to prison. So I was, petrified. I was already petrified because as I've told before as well, I already saw him shapeshift into another creature. You know, we didn't go into that now, but, you know, apart from everything else that had happened, being kidnapped and everything, you know, I don't think anyone would really want to stand up against someone who's best friends with Bill Clinton, and he was on the phone to Gates often. And I mean, you know, we all know he was friends with Gates because one of his assistants told me Gates used to go around there for lunch every week.
Bill Gates' wife said there was a lot going on.
Terrific. But I was actually talking about Bush, not Gates. You know, that's another weird thing. It's Bill Gates, Bill Clinton, you know, they've all the bills. And then you've got Epstein's name on the dollar bill. I mean, Epstein looks like the man on the dollar bill. So it's like all the bills, you know, and also Bill Richardson, Bill Clinton, Bill Gates, Bill Richardson.
Oh.
It's like all the bills, dollar bills.
So anyway, how long were you at the Florida property for?
So also for about like 5 days. And then, you know, he basically told me that if I say anything, I'm going to be put in prison and stuff. And he's got my family's name on a list. And then I was sent to New York, and he wasn't there then, but they sent me to have my hair made blonde and to have my teeth made white. And they sent me to Frederick Fakai, and he like made my hair all like blonde and stuff. And then Frederick Fakai made my teeth whiter. I've still got, I mean, not Frederick Fakai, the Bright Smile place. They made my teeth white. I've still got the card from when they did it. And then I was sent back, and then they had me back there again 2 weeks later.
Back at Florida?
The next time, I need to look at exactly, yes. Well, they took me to the Caribbean because I was taken there, first of all, in October. I arrived on October 17th, and then they took me back again in December.
And during these various, as they're moving you around various places, did you encounter Jean-Luc Brunel?
I never met that man, no. I didn't meet him.
Did you?
Okay, so does that give a good sense of her story? Here, I think, is her specific shape-shifting account, since it seems like they weren't going to go through that specifically.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Sounds like Epstein was a regular old Solomon.
Yeah, he's into the occult stuff. What's
Yeah.
the matter with me? All right, here's, I think, that story.
There's one simple vision hack anyone can use to improve
Need a vision hack?
So you can say goodbye to your
Spoons on
optometrist
your
for good.
eyes.
How do we lose
There is
that
no
stubborn
spoon.
belly fat?
There is no
salt to a
spoon.
glass of water every morning, which is how.
Epstein shapeshifted in front of me. It's very hard to understand if you haven't seen it, but I saw it. I want to be lie detected on this.
Skinwalker.
But I've never seen anyone else turn into anything like that. And
Heavy
it
occult
happened. It was
stuff.
like a weird hologram, and it had like big black eyes.
If you look back through ancient history, you'll notice there are a lot of dragons. They only used to draw and depict what was real.
Just show her account, guys. I know what a snake is.
Also, there's this article joking about Bush, Clinton, and the Queen all being reptiles. Why do Hillary Clinton and Prince Andrew apparently not sweat?
There is such a thing as hyperbole, guys. You need to chill. Just let her tell her story.
What about Bieber, Adele, and Lady Gaga apparently all shapeshifting?
This lady just kind of seems like a hardcore conspiracy theorist.
I painted Epstein as a reptile in 2019.
It's not her doing this. It's the people that are like splitting up her video. She put this on like online. What are you doing, Rumble? You don't need to make money
Yes,
that
she
bad.
originally put her video on X or Twitter.
And this guy's basically going through the reptilian conspiracy theory as if you don't know it already. So, which maybe some people do. Maybe we need to do the reptilian thing, although that's a little intense even for me. So, but
I like going intense.
yeah. All right. Well, let's see if we can actually hear her story.
And Maria Farmer, another victim, painted him as a reptile in 2020.
Ooh.
Others have had similar experiences.
Oh my gosh, guys, come on.
Breach warden.
What about the Simpsons prediction? Wasn't the Simpsons man on Epstein's airplane?
America, take a good look at your beloved candidates. They're nothing but hideous space reptiles.
As Tucker Carlson recently said, maybe we really are in a spiritual war.
That we are being acted on by spiritual forces
Oh
that
my
we cannot
gosh,
see.
we're not even getting to her account. This is really ticking me off. Like, it's the same. They clickbaited me. I got clickbaited.
You clickbaited.
I know it. I'm trying to find. I'm trying to find her actual story.
Hold on. Which story is it?
What is Juliet Burnett, I believe. Shape-shifting Jeffrey Epstein story. Epstein account.
Just Google pictures of Jeffrey Epstein in his true butterfly form.
Jeffrey Epstein's final form.
That is interesting how the
Juliet Bryant, Trevor.
Screw tape in the screw tape letters turns into a centipede.
Yeah, yeah.
Isn't that funny?
Yeah, it's funny because he can't control it.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm sorry, I got really mad and turned it to a centipede, so I couldn't write anymore.
Yeah.
So, just let that enemy get to me so much. So, Juliet Bryant.
It's almost like anger is a demon/bug inside of you, and the more you feed it, the more it grows bigger and takes you over.
That's true.
Like a parasite.
Like a parasite. You've brought that up before. These parasites. Somebody. All right. Is this it? Please be it. All right. Let's try this one. This is Richard Willett.
Why did you Scrambler? She's on a Scrambler. That's a badass four-wheeler.
Oh, is that what was she on?
I used to have one.
Oh yeah.
Polaris Scrambler.
Gotcha. I liked Honda Recon.
Why did you choose the
Epstein original video?
Huh? They're too slow?
Put her.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you can hit a cow with it.
That's true.
I put her original posted video from X in chat.
Dude, you're
but
the best.
I don't think that's the one where she's claiming
the
where
story.
He was shape-shifting.
Okay.
I'm still looking for that one.
All right, well, let's see if this is the one.
Dragon, the apple, and the butterfly. There's obviously the butterfly comes back here as well to the blue butterfly. You were talking about you've got MK Ultra kind of connotations to the butterfly with the monarch butterfly. So why did you choose that title? It's a lovely title.
Because when I was taken to the island, I saw Epstein shift in front of my eyes. It was very, very frightening, and it's just something that I had to explain to myself because I saw him turn into something. And if someone else told me this, I wouldn't believe it. But unfortunately, it happened to me. So I had to look into it and try to find reasons for it to explain it.
He does look like a
It's not an
butterfly.
easy thing to talk about because I can understand that a lot.
What?
I said he does look like a butterfly.
Very dainty, very frail, very fragile. Yes.
People wouldn't understand it if they haven't seen it. Do you mind if I just have a puff of a cigarette? Sorry.
Yeah.
And then we keep going once.
Yeah, sure. Do another 5 minutes on top of this anyway, so that's fine.
Okay. Okay, let's do it.
So was this a theory that you were familiar with before? Was this the first time you heard it? So there was no suggestion in here. This is something you weren't aware of.
No, I wasn't aware of anything like that. A few years later, my mum started actually researching David Icke, and my mum knew about the whole reptilian theory, and so then I sort of clicked what I'd seen. Because the thing is, it wasn't actually like reptilian; it was more like an alien, like dragon. And that's when I looked into the Draconians, the Draco law. Also the Order of the Dragon, the royal family are all apparently part of the Order of the Dragon. Also, their descendant Vlad the Dragon.
Yeah, because this is weird Britain stuff.
So I looked into a lot of history, and it sort of, it explained. But I saw him shift into something. It only happened once, but I've never seen anyone else turn into anything like that. And it happened. It was like a weird hologram, and it had like big black eyes. And
So
it happened.
Big black eyes, and it wasn't quite reptilian, but it was esque.
Yeah, it was like it was like reptilian, draconian, alien sort of thing. It was like, it wasn't like the usual reptilian pictures that they draw of people where but I saw it, and it was like, and I was, when I looked at him and saw him as that, I decided to look away and look back at him, and when I looked back, it was him again.
Oh, we got a few more seconds.
We're all gonna, I hope, find the truth together, because we all.
All right, so that was Richard Willett, 2,000 subscribers.
Wow.
Yeah, Classified with Juliet Bryant is the name of that episode. So, Classified with Juliet Bryant. And this was on Richard Willett's YouTube channel. Okay, so I think that gives a good sense of the theory there. Don't know what's true, don't know what's false, but, the bottom line is that weird cult stuff comes out of Britain. So there's probably some MI6 connections to that whole situation as well, if I were to guess. So, any final thoughts, gentlemen?
No, sir.
What about you, Trevor?
No, I'm good.
You're good? All right. Well, I think we're done with the Epstein stuff. Hopefully, we'll finally start getting some answers to some of this.
Doubtful.
Yeah, well, it would be nice because, hey, if these things are wrong, it would be great to get that confirmed, so we're not all believing in butterfly people and reptilians.
We just went back to the beginning. We're starting back with David Icke again. I mean, this isn't going anywhere.
I can't stand David Icke. I still can't take that man seriously. So maybe I'm being a judgy McJudgerson, but anyway,
it's possible.
It's possible. I'm a little uppity. So
who's David Icke again?
Okay,
It's
was
like
he
an
a
old school conspiracy
soccer?
theorist.
He was like a soccer player turned conspiracy theorist. I don't know.
Oh.
I just know that he's the one that pushed the reptilian thing. That's about all I know about him. And he was on Alex Jones for a while, and then Jones got mad at him. I think they got mad because of the Elon Musk thing. Like Ike doesn't like Musk or something. Drama. So.
Well, neither does Jason Burmis, and Jason Burmis is on Alex's show.
Yeah, but sometimes Jones has fallings out with people. I don't know. Yeah, temperament, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
So.
It's all in his files.
What?
It's all in his files.
It's all in his files. Are there the Alex Jones files?
Alex Jones.
Release the Alex Jones files. We need the drama. So.
Drama.
Anyway, all right, we're done here. I'm going to keep talking about it at least a little until, we get some kind of answers. But hopefully I don't have to be quite so mean about Trump anymore. Because he's quit calling people names and said, he's trying anyway. I'll give him credit for trying. So, all right, that's all I got. If you are watching the live stream, stay with us. We got more subjects to cover. If you're watching this after the fact, guys, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you.
On to subject 2. What is subject 2?
Pizzagate.
No, gosh, no. We will have to do that, but one horrible thing at a time.
Okay.
Oh, my goodness. Okay, so we got the New Jersey drone thing. We got the new Berwick Witches thing. And then we got Jesse Lee Peterson and the Mike Winger thing, which is going to be kind of a half and half deal.
Yeah.
So, which one do we want to cover next?
I always want to talk about Jesse Lee Peterson.
All right, let's move on to Jesse Lee Peterson then. Okay. All right. Well, since this is your baby, you lead us in, Mr. Cody.
Welcome to Faith, Fiction, and Folklore, or the Tri-F podcast, where we try not to F the podcast up. Today, we're going to talk about Jesse Lee Peterson and Mike Winger, and talk a little bit about Jesse's theology, if you want to call it that, and Mike Winger, something about him.
Yeah, like...
How are you guys?
I'm fantastic. I'm great. Incredible. A little depressed, but awesome. How about you, Trevor?
I'm fantastic.
You're fantastic.
He's fantastic.
All right, that's just swell.
Just swell.
Thank you.
All right. So
which video are we leading off with?
I guess we're leading off with the Jesse Lee Peterson one, unless you got some... Hang on, I gotta close all the jillion tabs. All right, hey, it's right here. How about that? Okay,
nice. Winning.
So this is Jesse Lee Peterson. Cody, tell us a little bit about this man. Except that,
all right, Jesse is a 80-year-old black man. He's cool as shit. He just has a talk show, and he does church every Sunday. And he's kind of a provocateur of sorts. He makes you see the other side of the coin. I just really like how he asks questions, because he'll ask the same question over and over again until you answer the question, and that's hilarious to me.
So he don't put up with no BS?
No, you don't get to get out of the question.
Heck yeah. All right, well, here is Mr. Jesse Lee Peterson.
Let me go to Ohio. A first-time caller, Sharon, out of Ohio. Sharon, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Thank you, Jesse. In a world with very little common sense, you bring a lot, and thank you for all the people you help. My question has to do, I get confused because you often speak that about Jesus is not God, he's our brother.
Yes.
But yet when you think about the miracles he performed, walking on water, healing people, the transfiguration, obviously that's a divinity. So what do you mean by that?
What do I mean by Jesus being our brother?
Yeah, and not God.
Oh, okay. And what is a divinity? Before I respond to that.
A divinity is the divine nature of Jesus. He has a human nature and a divine nature.
Oh, I got what
you're saying. But he's part of a Trinity, Father, Son, and Holy Spirit.
Let me ask, did Jesus perform the miracle himself, or was it the Father in the Son performing the miracle through him?
You asked the most interesting questions. Let me think about what you
black.
just said. Amazing.
Amazing.
You know, I got to think about that. So you're asking, was it Jesus who did it or the Father who did it through him?
Right.
Oh, my gosh, Jesse, you just stump us all the time. I got to think about that. So you're saying that it was the Father who did it through Jesus?
No, I'm asking you. It was a question.
I think that, he obviously was raised from the dead after being crucified. So I believe that he has a divine nature and a human nature. But, I am Catholic, so, they definitely believe Jesus is God.
And so you still didn't respond to the question.
I believe he has a divine nature.
You still not responding to the question.
What was the question? what was the question?
Was it Jesus who performed the miracles, or was it the Father in Jesus working through him? Hold that thought. You have time to think about it. Don't hang up, all right?
I won't. You're adorable.
Let me go quickly back to Sharon, a first-time caller out of Ohio. And Sharon talking about Jesus being...
Okay. Cody, did you just bring this up so we could argue about the Trinity again?
It was the first thing I found, and it said 5:33 on it.
Okay.
So like,
okay.
All right.
All right. All right. Well, is this the thing that you thought was going to set me off and I was going to respond to, the Trinity stuff? Or is this
I mean, let it play through. It's not over.
Okay, well, I have to break it up. It's transformative content, Cody.
Not over
So
till
I have to
ladies.
I have to do something here. So
You're right.
okay, so was this the thing that you were going to talk about him, or was there like something else
No,
you
it
want
was
to
more
discuss with him?
His basic theology, I guess.
What is his basic theology?
That you don't need religion, you don't need to read the Bible, you don't need any of that. You just need to be able to be in a quiet place with yourself and get rid of all your thoughts, and then it becomes like I look at it like the only debt-free drug is God, and the only way to get to God is to silence all your thoughts, because your thoughts are all worldly. So to be addicted to silence, I think that's what Jesus was talking about when he's talking about praying in silence, like around nobody else, by himself. He's communicating with the Father because there's nothing else there, right?
Okay.
He's going into his prayer closet. And so Jesse's whole thing is just getting people to do that. And you kind of become comfortable with yourself because you get to know yourself so well, I think.
Okay, so we've had this debate too before, haven't we?
Probably.
Yeah.
Something along these lines.
About what it means to pray. I think it was when we got to New Thought. When we were talking about Napoleon Hill and New Thought, we had this debate. Yeah. So we'll finish this video, and then I guess we'll take this one at a time, because all of those are like 3-hour conversations. So, yeah.
I've had some long videos on those.
Yeah, yeah. So let's see what he has to say here, and then we'll move on and talk about it.
And God. She believed that Jesus is God, I think. Sharon.
Jesse.
So I asked a question.
I'm a Bible thumper, so I went to the Bible while you were doing the break.
Uh-huh.
And Jesus and God and the Holy Spirit are 3 different persons.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah. You opened my mind to something. I think we so often read the Bible, and maybe we go in the direction of what we're taught in church or, Bible study.
Yeah.
Without you put us into a deeper level of thinking. People are so ready to accept what anybody tells them without really thinking deeper.
Yes.
I thank you for that, Jesse.
You're welcome. Now you know for yourself. And now that you can see it for yourself, nobody can take that away from you.
Amazing.
Isn't that amazing?
It is. You have a blessed day.
You too, Sharon. You too. Good call. Call me again.
Thank you, Jess.
All
Bye-bye.
right. Bye now. 888-775-3773.
Sorry,
There
hang on.
is a hell and there is a kingdom of heaven.
What'd you say, Trevor?
Does she ever answer the question?
No.
Well, we're going to talk about
She was
it.
wrong.
We're going to talk about it. Don't worry. We're going to talk about it. I just wanted to get through it first. Can't leave that hanging. Good night.
And they are not the same. Heaven is heaven, hell is hell. Isn't that amazing? And heaven is not only above, but it's inside of you. That is so true. I don't know what to do with it. That there is a kingdom of heaven within you. There's another way to live. But you got to live from within. And most people, and you living from within, you're going to deal with what's on the outside too. You got to function, right? But most people only live from the outer. And that is all hell. Everything you want to know, everything you are, is already there.
Okay.
Not scary?
Yeah, he's wrong about the Trinity. Would you like me to break down why? Do we want to have this conversation again? Okay, what do you mean by nature? First of all, when we talk about the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit, we're talking about three beings in one, God and the Son and the Holy Spirit all sharing the same nature. So what is in nature? What do we mean by that?
I would argue that it's your job to explain.
All right, fine, I will. We mean a perfect understanding of beauty, perfect understanding of justice, perfect understanding of right and wrong. The nature, like the moral law, is a description of God's nature. So it is the word, the logos. So that logos, that perfect nature, took on a human form. So Christ, having a divine nature, perfect understanding of the moral law, was praying with a perfect understanding of faith, and God was doing the miracles through him because they share. Because a human can do those miracles too as a vessel, if you will, because God is the one that's actually doing it. Christ is operating as a human, and God is therefore doing the miracle through him. So Christ is human. Like this is the problem. Miracles are not superpowers. Okay, so the author of the universe, who is outside of space and time, can manipulate his universe however he wants, and he can use a human to do those things, and he was using Christ, who had perfect faith, to do those things. So from the human... So it's not necessarily a matter of having the superpower or the ability to do something. God is the one doing it. Christ is showing you the circumstances, the when and how God will act when he's performing a miracle. So the short answer would be, I suppose, God. And in a certain sense, it's both, but really God the Father is the one doing the miracle, and Christ is showing you how God interacts with people as well. Remember, everything that Christ does is to set an example. So if you are wanting to heal the blind, you would look at instances where Christ healed the blind and see, okay, what did he do? How did he pray? How did he interact with God? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. But it doesn't make sense when you say you are God.
He is God because he has the perfect understanding of God's nature. He is the logos of God in the flesh.
He has a perfect understanding
humans
of God's
don't.
nature because
Humans
he's without sin.
Yes, and humans have sin. Humans are not God. They don't have the logos. They aren't the logos.
Right, but I mean, you said yourself, God can manipulate his creation, so why wouldn't he make it, make a perfect environment for a
Free will.
human, an actual human, to free will?
Free will.
Oh yeah, you believe in free will.
That's right, I do.
All right.
Yeah. Does that answer the question sufficiently? Or at least, is it coherent? I'm not asking for agreement, but is it coherent?
Sorta.
Sorta.
Do you think we're Christ's brothers? We can't do miracles? We can't be in line with God's
It depends
will?
on what you mean. That's obviously an analogy. So what do you mean by brother?
Can we do God's will?
Yes.
So wouldn't that kind of put us equal with Christ?
No, because we don't do God's will all the time.
The cat's going nuts.
It's going, Cody, you're wrong. You're wrong, Cody.
Yeah, you would listen to a cat.
Yeah, that's right, Trevor.
Let me go take care of the cat.
All right.
Guys.
Walk like
Trevor,
an Egyptian.
am I speaking English? Am I being coherent?
Go back to one of the words. One of the words that's confusing me, but I forgot what word it is. I didn't want to interrupt you because you were on a roll. Okay, so you were talking about Jesus is what?
He's the Word of God. He's the Logos. He's the Word become flesh.
Logos.
Yes.
What does that mean?
That is the
Logos.
perfect, that's the perfect understanding, yeah, the Word of God, perfect understanding of God. The moral law is, in measure, a description of God's nature. So Christ has the perfect understanding of beauty. He understands exactly what beauty is. Christ is the perfect understanding of justice. He understands what perfect justice is. Like, Christ is God's nature, and God's nature is the standard for, like, the way we should live, like the moral law, the way things are designed to be. He's the standard bearer. He understands the standard. He understands the standard perfectly. We as humans, we have some comprehension of the standard, but we're distorted. We don't have that logos. We're kind of looking at that perfect understanding from the outside. So our understanding is warped. Christ's is not.
Because we ate the fruit.
Right, exactly, because we ate the fruit. We have a sinful nature, all of that.
So Christ is not human?
He is human in the sense that he has a body and he lived and died. But his nature is not like, you know, like perfectly 110%. He doesn't have a fallen nature. Like, he has a human nature, but he doesn't have a fallen nature. Like, he didn't bite the fruit. He doesn't have that sinful propensity.
Do you believe a human can have perfect peace?
No.
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 Okay.
And I would go a step further. I don't think humans are supposed to have perfect peace. Peace is not a virtue. Peace is a reward from God for doing the right thing.
Right.
But it's not a virtue. It's not something that is supposed to be obtained in and of itself.
Well, isn't the whole point to get the reward?
No, the whole point is to help your fellow man. You might get a reward to be incentivized, but that's not the point of the thing.
Huh. I mean, I would argue that perfect peace is the goal of being alive.
Yeah, I would disagree with that. I think, weirdly, we're sometimes at our best when we're under torment. The best of us comes out under pain and pressure. And God builds us and makes us better through pain and pressure. So we're not always supposed to have peace. If we always had peace, we wouldn't really recognize it as peace. The contrast helps us to identify the disparate parts. So you need to be in pain at least some of the time to understand what peace is. I think one philosopher said, God created pain, man created suffering. So there always has to be a measure of pain.
Pain without suffering.
That, yes, we can experience pain without suffering.
So that would still be perfect peace.
No, perfect peace would not be in. I would say perfect peace is, you know, being happy,
Never
not
dealing
being in
with
pain, not being in, you know, under any strain, being okay.
No. You can be at peace in chaos.
You're talking about being content. Like, it is well. I think you're talking about it is well with my soul. That's not really what I mean. Like, peace would be like not having any conflict, not being under pressure, everything being okay, enjoying life. Contentment would be stability in spite of harshness. But I think there's a distinction between those two terms.
Maybe I'm not smart enough to see it.
No, you're smart. No, don't say that. You're fine. I may be rambling incoherently. So
I mean, I feel like contentment is. Yeah, we have had this argument. So, like, contentment. Yeah, I would say contentment and peace are like it's well with my soul. Like you said, you can be at peace in the middle of chaos, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can be the little girl holding a flower in the middle of all the darkness. You know,
right?
Like,
right. So you're describing contentment, though, which I mean that's fine. So. That's fine. We're kind of arguing over definitions. So if you want to call peace contentment, then I think that's fine. But I would even say that contentment.
Would you say Christ had perfect contentment?
Yes.
Okay. Would you describe that as anything else?
No, I don't think so.
Well, then, I mean, that's what we want, right? We want to be like Christ.
Yes, we do want to be like Christ, which be content, you know, being able to be content under suffering. Yes, I would agree with that.
So humans can't achieve that? Or they can?
Not consistently. We can have moments of success, but I would say not consistently.
Okay. But that would be the end goal, right?
Yes. So.
Bet.
Okay. Well, I think that means we're in agreement, right?
I think so.
Okay, cool.
There's a first.
Yeah, that was quick. That was quick, actually.
This really helped me out there.
Okay. All right. Well, Trevor, you got anything to say?
Peace, from my understanding, is being in all the pain and suffering and being able to hand it to God and say, it's all you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was defining that as contentment, but yeah.
Yeah.
I think we're talking about the same thing. There's just different terminology, so being thrown around. So, okay. But I think we're all on the same page with that.
Look, it's a butterfly.
Yeah.
It's a pretty butterfly.
So, okay. So, have I answered the Trinity question to the satisfaction?
I think so. I mean,
cool.
We're in agreement at this point, so.
Cool. All right, and what was the next thing he asked? It was something about
cheesecake,
praying, and the emptying the mind component, which I think we've already had that conversation.
Yeah, we have.
Yeah, I don't know if you want to explore that again or not. But he didn't really elaborate about that in this video, so I don't know if we need to. It's up to you.
I mean, we've been going 30 minutes. We're kind of all that good.
Okay. All right. Well, if you're happy, I'm happy. Check out the Napoleon Hill New Thought video if you want to hear us talk about whether it's good to silence your mind in prayer. So, yeah. We also had. I think we had a whole video devoted to that too. Actually, I think, like to that subject specifically.
Like an hour and a half or something.
Yeah, we had a debate on that one topic. So, okay. Well, I missed it. So.
What? Me laughing?
Yeah, I thought.
Oh, Callie, we're watering the plants for the neighbors down the street, and Callie had to do it all by herself.
Oh,
man.
Okay. You're shirking. Gotcha. You're slacking. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's move on to this Mike Winger thing, and I guess it would be kind of a tease for next week if we want to go under that or not. I need to switch this over. Sorry, guys. You're seeing every tab on my computer.
Careful which one you click.
That's all right.
I know what you do.
I will neither confirm nor deny anything. Don't know what you're talking about.
You confirmed it live on air, sir.
Shush. I did no such thing. So.
Actually, that episode, did it just drop? Or is it about to?
Which one?
The masturbation.
Oh.
Episode?
Not yet,
yeah.
It's scheduled for next week, I think.
I'm excited. I'm going to send that one to people.
If you must. All right, so this is a kind of a men's issue thing / statute of limitations / what kind of conduct between men and women is actually appropriate / is that even relevant because this guy was still being pervy at the time. Anyway, bottom line is, let me I guess set this up. So Dr. Michael Brown, who I have no love for, I should say I love him as a brother in Christ. He just annoys me. So I don't listen to him a whole lot. I used to listen to him, and then he got on my nerves, so I quit. This was years ago. And since that time, it has come out that he had emotional affairs, would be the Christian nomenclature for it. And what that means, I personally think that's a dumb thing, and I don't think emotional affairs exist. That's neither here nor there. This guy basically got a little pervy, though. So he was slapping some 20-year-old on the behind when she was 20. He was 46 at the time.
Oh, what a sicko.
I know. And then held her hand. And then they...
I wanna hold your
Yeah.
hand.
And then they met in a parking lot at Walmart.
Yeah.
In public.
Drank a couple of Bud Lights, had a good time.
Yeah, and he got caught by one of his church mates because he was in public. Scandalous. So these Christians lost their ever-loving mind over it.
Yeah.
And I guess they're... I don't know what they're wanting because the end result of this... So that was the... I need to finish keying this up. So that was the first incident. The second incident, which happened years later, these are things that happened years apart. So he starts getting into a romantic correspondence of an erotic nature. So basically, they were sex emailing each other, is the bottom line. And they knocked it off. And then 23 years later, some bleeding heart for the good of the people or something dug all this up. And now it's a big deal. And it's like, oh, he should have went to the elders. But here's the joke about that. He should have went to the elders 20 years ago. He didn't go to the elders. They did an investigation. Which they said, oh, this is an unbiased organization doing the investigation, which I'm like, bull crap. There's no such thing as an unbiased organization doing an investigation on a preacher. That ain't happening. So everybody loves to watch a good man fall. So I don't believe that for a second. So he goes to his board. Everybody submits to this investigation, and they swear up and down that they're going to, submit to the results of this investigation. I wouldn't, but they said they would. Well, the investigation comes out. It sounds pretty much exactly what it was. It was scandalous behavior. And the board was like, yeah, we're still keeping Dr. Brown. And we're still keeping, we don't care, is the bottom line. Right. Well, this sent everybody into a tizzy, and I'm kind of laughing because these guys are mad at Dr. Brown for not submitting to his elders and his board 23 years ago, but they're not willing to submit to the board's results over those events that happened 23 years ago. So obviously these guys, they're sitting there going, we want accountability. We want accountability for this cover-up culture. That's what Mike Winger calls it. And in some cases, that is certainly true. But he's going, we want accountability. And it's like, no, you don't, because accountability makes sure that this stuff doesn't happen again. What you want is punishment. You want him to go through a humiliation ritual, and his board and his elders don't want him to go through that. Why? Probably because nothing actually happened, and it was 23 years ago. But and I'm saying this as somebody, I cannot stand Dr. Michael Brown. Like, he drives me insane. Yeah. But this was a freaking witch hunt. It was ridiculous, in my opinion. But I wanted to get you guys' thoughts, so we'll watch the first part of this, and if this is a subject that interests you, we will pick it up next week.
Okay.
So
sweet.
All right.
I like this little story litmus test.
Yeah. It's a case study.
Case study.
If you could, man. What is like the telescopic from a million miles away, just glancing at everything that's happened? Can you give us like an overview? Because this is sort of a post-mortem at this point.
It's important that you understand the background. I didn't show up out of nowhere and say, I'm going to publicly, expose.
So this is the individual that chose to dug all this up out of the goodness of his heart. I'm dubious, but,
Dude, he has that little thing.
What little thing? Oh, does he have a soul patch?
Yeah.
I didn't even see that.
That's a bad red flag.
Is that a bad sign?
That's a red flag.
What's a red flag?
He's got a soul patch. He's up to no good, Trevor. I got the same vibes from the guy. To be fair, I didn't catch the soul patch, but I did get the same vibes. Yeah. But we'll listen. We'll see what he has to say.
Dr. Michael Brown,
unless, Trevor, you have something you wanted to say.
Nope. Continue.
All right.
Known each other since 1984, and we've been friends most of that time. Was it 40 years? We were together at the Brownsville Revival, and Mike is a dynamic minister, a dynamic personality. And at the end of the time at the revival,
minister of dynamic
let go,
personality.
And there was a split. And
oh yeah, you're gonna love some of this guy's terminology.
He's doing the Jordan Peterson thing, isn't he?
Oh yeah, you're gonna love it. You're gonna love it. It's fantastic.
Oh,
Pay very close attention to his wording, because
he's using really big words to throw you off what he's actually saying.
Yeah, he's
I'm already lost.
Yeah, he's obfuscating with his wording. Yeah, that's important, because when I was watching this through the first time, I went into this. Maybe this is not a good thing. Me being a fallen human, I went in this kind of wanting to stomp on Dr. Michael Brown's grave. When I say I don't like this guy, he really annoys me. I shouldn't be that way. I did repent of that attitude about halfway through this video. So, but that's the thing. It's about halfway through this video, I'm like, holy crap, this is a witch hunt, which I was not predisposed to think. Because A, I'm not a fan of Michael Brown. B, Mike Winger is usually really thorough and really good on this stuff. I do not think he was thorough at all in this video, and I found this video to be atrocious. And again, I'm speaking to somebody who's not a fan of Michael Brown. I can't emphasize that enough. It hurt. Well, I'll just shut up. So anyway, let's go on.
We did have a falling out at that time that lasted for about 8 years, and then we reconciled. And when we reconciled fully. I mean, we went.
Just so you know, he's talking about Mike Winger at this point. They had a falling out, and now they're buddies again.
Oh.
Yeah.
Vacation, like within months. It was like nothing ever happened, and it was beautiful and wonderful. Some people have wondered if I have some sort of obsession with Mike, wanting to bring. God forbid. If I fear the Lord, that I would purposely torpedo somebody who's probably the greatest Messianic Jewish apologist in the world. Like you mentioned earlier, his answering Jewish objection series. So
yeah, okay. In all fairness, I've given him crap, so I do need to compliment Dr. Michael Brown. His Jewish objections to Jesus series is fantastic. It's the only thing he's ever done that I've really liked, but it's really, really good. So I will compliment him on that. And that's probably one of the things he's more well known for.
God forbid that I would ever be a part of anything like that. I have loved Mike. In 2018, he was attacked by a conservative minister in Israel and labeled a false prophet publicly. Nobody went after that guy like I did, trying to get him to repent. First of all, I don't think you can declare somebody a false prophet by yourself. There needs to be a counsel and consideration. It was over something that Mike has written a lot about that happened in 1988. And I was livid, and I went to his employer, and they made a statement distancing themselves. But it just shows how much I loved him. And just a year ago, in June, he was in Israel. And I took him down to the south, to the areas that were affected. October 7th, we did some filming together. I took him out to lunch. We had a great day together. And then it was a few months after that, in October, that I'm emailing him back and forth over something that happened. Somebody attacked both of us online, and I just sent him a little quip like it's a joy, to be brothers in this thing together. I loved Mike Brown. The idea that I've been waiting for an opportunity to hurt him is, if it's true, then I'm a sick person. You judge for yourself. I love the Lord, and I love Mike. But there are certain things that we can't do and we can't cover up.
From Jerusalem with special
I don't believe you, Uncle Cracker.
I didn't believe him either. I don't know exactly what he said at this point, but I'm instantly going, God forbid is not a no. I don't know why it was like that. I don't know anything about this guy. I know nothing about it, but I was instantly like, flags are going off immediately. I don't know why, because again,
the same thing. It's the same thing that happened with Brandon Biggs for me.
Yeah.
I'm just like, nope. This guy's full of shit. Nope.
I wish I knew why I did that though, because again, for emphasis, I'm not a fan of Michael Brown. I'm not a fan of the guy, but I'm instantly going, Michael Brown's getting railroaded here. This is bad. This is not right. And it's just something about his mannerisms. I don't know what it is though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Maybe it is a soul patch. I don't know. As it goes on, you start to pick up some of the wording though, and that's what's really interesting. So, we'll continue. Unless Trevor has something to say. Trevor, are me and Cody crazy? Like, is there something to this guy that's making you go, oh, I don't buy that?
I think he was made up by AI.
I am trying to justify my Columbo-like intuition here, and you make an AI joke.
No, I mean, there's definitely something there, man. When those flags start going off in your gut,
yeah,
I mean, it's like I'm not trying to brag, Brandon Biggs sucks. And I knew it immediately. Immediately. So there is something there.
Yeah, I know.
So, I mean, like, trust your gut, like they say.
Yeah, well, my gut's saying
Eventually
something.
the clues will come to the surface.
Inspector Clouseau.
Yeah, I was trying to give him the benefit of a doubt until he was like, I'm not sitting. It wasn't like I was trying to sit here and, wait for a moment to hurt him. I was like, yeah, you're full of crap.
Yeah, isn't that weird? I thought the same thing. I listened to that and I'm like, that's exactly what you were doing. You were telling us exactly what you were doing. I don't know why I thought that. I find it interesting. He continues to validate this conversation as time goes on. But I just was curious what you guys thought, because I'm just like, why did I instantly not believe this guy?
He's like a gamma that wants to dethrone the king,
I think that's right.
It'll give him like clout.
Yeah, like we have to give him the benefit of the doubt. We have to hear him out. But my first impression, honestly, and it's something I tried to fight throughout the video, but it's like, this is some dude who gets up to people by pretending to care. This is like somebody who stabs you in the back while smiling.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, the scenario I'm picturing in my head is he heard a rumor on the wind, which I'm very suspicious about. I don't even know if that's the case, because why would anybody be talking about this 23 years after the fact? That's the first weird thing. It's like, why now? Like, why is he getting hit, Michael Brown getting hit with these accusations by this guy now?
Yeah.
What happened? That's the first thing that goes off in your head. And then you're sitting there thinking, well, he heard something. He calls the girl. The girl has to have some reason to not be talking about it. So either Michael Brown's like threatening to kill her or something crazy, or
maybe it was just 23 years ago and she was like, why are you bringing this up?
Or she's over it. Yeah, like it was 23 years ago and she got over it. And then he has to go, no, this was a big deal. You were assaulted or something. And then she goes, oh my gosh, you're right. You know, like he had to rip the scab off to some capacity.
Yeah.
That's the impression I'm getting. Am I insane?
No, I'm trying to think of it like a King's Chamber archetype that would do that. I can't think of a good movie right now to like.
A Knight's Tale.
It is a little Game of Thrones indicative, isn't it? Like a Littlefinger type. You find some old bit of dirt.
I don't know who that is.
Oh, that's right. You didn't watch Game of Thrones with us for 8 years. What a sad ending to that show. But anyway,
just this awful individual that wants to dethrone the king and take his place. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, like
that's what I
just
thought.
To get power from it.
I started suspecting a power play. Like, this guy's 66. They want him gone, and this is a PR campaign to get him gone.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of what started going through my mind. Like yeah. I don't know. Trevor, are we being unfair? Are we being unfair to Mr. Soulpatch?
Who is Michael Brown? I'm sorry.
The king, bro.
The king, bro.
I'm just waiting.
Let me pull up a picture. Let me pull up a picture of him.
I don't know who Michael Brown is.
I don't either.
The king, bro.
He's the king of all kings.
Oh, man.
He's 66? That's funny.
Yeah.
Illuminati confirmed. Right?
Well, that means he had to be guilty.
66, okay, I know who Michael Brown is. Yeah.
Yeah, he's very famous.
Looks like my buddy's dad.
He's also
less redneck.
Oh, yeah?
Also full of crap.
Oh, yeah, I'm not a fan of this guy. Like, at all. Like, this dude... You want to get me... Like, this is one of these lose your salvation dudes, which I will absolutely lose my ever-loving mind every time I hear one of those people. So, like, I have a lot of beef with this guy. But he did not do this, you know? Like, he is getting railroaded, period. So...
Yeah. It's like an old man. Like
yeah.
I mean, unless he was just like a pervert, like, you know, stealing people's kids and... keeping them in a closet and feeding them Kit Kats. I mean, let's just leave them alone.
If he was a
I like Kit
woman,
Kats.
he would have been a cougar. That's what it is.
Right.
He would have been one of those kind of creepy cougars when all this happened. He was 40-something when this happened. Now he's a 66-year-old man, and of course they're doing this because everybody's so traumatized because an affair almost happened.
I mean, for the mad people's to their credit, I will say Jesus said, if you lust after a woman with your eyes, you've already committed adultery in your heart.
I'm not saying he didn't do anything wrong, but you're going to fire a guy 23 years after the fact?
For being lustful?
For being lustful? And plus, I'm sorry, but he's a boomer. And, like, the slapping on the behind thing, that's a boomer thing. They're weird. They're weird!
Yeah.
So,
I mean, I do it at least 30 times a day.
Yeah, but that's your wife. That doesn't count. That doesn't count. I mean, it's just, like, weird, inappropriate. Like, what was the Seth MacFarlane sketch from Family Guy? You remember the 1950s?
Old dudes that just, like, slap waitresses' butts and stuff.
Yeah, but they had this 1950s promo where there was, like, a work training video. And it's like, "And don't forget to congratulate your secretary by giving her a good slap on the behind."
It's like on Pink Panther. He'll seal it with a kiss. He slaps her on the
Yeah. Oh, they think it's funny. They think it's funny. Millennials are like assault, but they think it's funny. So, I mean, and that's important because
there's a divide there.
Yeah, there's a generational divide there. And know what he does. This goes back to the wording. I don't know if we'll get there tonight, but if we do, note the wording. When the account starts, it starts with him saying slap, which has a connotation. Could be a joke, could be sexual, could be mad. It could be any number of... Slap has multiple connotation, but it gradually becomes touch. He's touching her behind, which is technically true, but it has that word has a different connotation.
Right.
You know.
Was it a boop or a slap?
Yeah, that's what happened. She's like, yeah, he poked my behind. I don't understand why. I mean, okay. What do you do?
He's into that boop culture.
Yeah, that boop culture. That's the thing. So.
All right, play the damn video already.
Friends in the world, Ron Cantor. We've known each other since 1984. My friend Ron Cantor in Israel. In our history, Ron, we go back to 1984. Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah. So he's justifying his friendship.
For decades, Ron Cantor.
And Ron, if I can, let me just say real quick for those who are thinking that about you. Consider the following, is that what we're about to bring is evidence and multiple testimonies to try to establish facts. That's what persuaded me to go forward on this, evidence and multiple testimonies. The accusation that Ron is just going after Mike because of personal issues, you have no evidence at all. And you are basically creating a policy where you will ignore evidence and testimonies and just attack a person because you're picking a side or something like that, which is partially.
Yeah, but here's the thing, though. If Dr. Brown hadn't fessed up, you wouldn't have any evidence either, because it would strictly be he said versus she said. Mm-hmm. Maybe like a couple witnesses, maybe over events that happened.
Enough to say what happened, right?
Yeah, yeah. So if Brown hadn't admitted it, it would still be. And in a court of law, all of this would just be hearsay. That's the joke of it. I mean, you have to have something besides just, somebody saying something happened or a friend said that it happened. Like, it's not even witness testimony. It's like, well, this one guy over here said it too, It's called hearsay. So, and that's what happens a lot in this video. You don't hear any other witnesses saying it, and maybe they gave like depositions or something. To a non-biased board that talked to some elders, but for the most part, it's just rumor. So it kind of goes on both sides. But they wouldn't have anything if Brown hadn't admitted it. So, there's that.
Reality, very thing that we're told not to do. So That being said, in all honesty, Ron, even if you were just axe to grind, it doesn't mean nothing, that what you're saying is not true.
Right.
And we still have to handle these facts and deal with them.
And it's become a talking point and a narrative.
So who's
and
this
what
guy?
I have noticed over the last 7 months.
I know nothing about
Ron.
him. This is Ron.
That's
This is
Ron.
the
He's the
accuser.
Soul Patch guy.
Soul Patch.
Ron
Yeah.
Howard.
No, not
Uncle Cracker.
not Ron Howard. Or what'd you say, Cody? Something Cracker?
Uncle Cracker?
Uncle Cracker.
You don't
Uncle
know that guy?
Ron
I don't
Cracker.
know that guy. No.
Oh, man.
We're here to have a good time.
I'm blanking. I can't remember the
That's-
song that you would know.
Yeah, I wouldn't know. I mean, when I hear Cracker, I'm like, oh, hey, I'm a Cracker. Okay.
No, Uncle Cracker. He was like he was like the Limp Bizkit era. He was like all like
Oh gosh.
poppy. Like,
Ew.
that video with Dane Cook as a superhero.
Dane Cook was a superhero?
Is it Tub Thumping? Is that the song? I don't remember.
I don't know. All right, well, let's see what happens here. See how far we get.
There are certain narratives and talking points that are repeated by Dr. Brown and those close to him that are repeated for a reason, such as the recent ones we saw a few, maybe 2 months ago now, where Raleigh, Washington, his new spokesman, said that my influence in Sarah's life, she was one of the victims, I made it 10 times worse than what Mike really did to her. I somehow sinisterly came in and said, hey, Sarah, let's, maybe this happened, maybe that. It's just absurd. And of course, we never heard.
But that's probably not what happened. Oh, that's so horrible. I can't believe he did that to you.
Yeah, he's like he was being dramatic, and now he's saying, I wasn't being dramatic.
I didn't do nothing. What are you talking about, guy?
Back from Raleigh, I think he may have been a one-time spokesman.
Well, I'll tell you later. He ghosted me as well. He was supposed to be my point guy to help. I tried to clear this stuff up, privately, and he was supposed to be the point guy, and it didn't work out well. Yeah.
I think he may have resigned. Again, we haven't heard his name other than that one time in the Roy's report, I think.
Okay.
It wasn't a good week, I don't think, for him. And rightly so. People don't like being told that they've been brainwashed, that they've been manipulated. That is gaslighting. So going back to October now. So it's not October. It's October 2024. Mike and I are very close friends. He's a mentor. I look up to him, but we're buddies now. I'm getting ready to turn 60. He's getting ready to turn 70. And I have a friend, former student. I wouldn't call him a friend at the time. Somebody I knew, who gets in touch with me. I just gotten home from Jerusalem. I live in Israel. And I just gotten home from a prayer meeting and was checking my messenger. And there's a note from this guy.
You gotta explain the laugh. Why was that funny?
He's like, I lived in Israel. Check mark for me.
Oh, you think it was a humble brag? I was like, oh, I live in Israel.
I mean, I lived in Israel.
I'm super.
And I also want to point out, he said, I looked up to Dr. Mike.
Oh, yeah.
Why did you look up to him? Why couldn't he be an equal? Why are you feel like you're lesser than him? Do you want to dethrone him? Are you saying you've had resentment building in your heart and now you no longer respect him, so you want to out him?
Objection, speculation. So
overruled.
And he says, I just want you to be aware that Mike Brown is being investigated for 2 situations of sexual sin. And when I read that, I don't have words to describe the inner turmoil that I almost fell out of my chair. I was like,
are you sure it wasn't something to the...
Out of your chair?
What'd you say, Trevor?
How could words make him fall out of his chair?
This is a drama queen.
I know, the melodrama, that's exactly what it is. It's like, that's what really makes me think this is such a hit job, disingenuous. Because it's like, guys, it's an emotional affair. I mean...
Like what man is shocked that another man had a sexual sin?
Right.
Like, really? Like, oh, you're perfect in that area?
Yeah.
Guess I'm just terrible.
It's like, are you
like, no, dude, if you can't admit that you've had lust in your heart, you're a lying sack.
Yeah, there's a degree of deception. It's like, dude, nothing happened. It was a close call that providentially got stopped. That happens to a lot of people. That ain't abnormal. Yeah. What do you mean you fell out of your chair? Are you sure? I have a golden ticket. Was it running through a loop in your head? It's the chagrin. It's the chagrin that makes it seem like a lie. It's just like the fake shock.
Yeah.
It's like...
super beta.
Yeah. Oh, Mr. Trevor, what do you think?
Super beta.
Super beta. Yeah, I mean,
I'm Rod Burgundy.
Like, nobody's perfect. Maybe not every guy goes through that, but a lot of guys do. That's not abnormal. And a lot of preachers do. It's a stereotype in movies, for crying out loud. I mean, good night. That Frodo guy from Hunchback of Notre Dame sniffed Esmeralda's hair. He wasn't sniffing to see if she was saved. He wasn't smelling for sulfur. Yeah, it's just the shock, the fake shock.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Good night.
This guy and Brandon Biggs should go hang out together, and let's stop there.
Well, there, yeah.
Maybe I should do a deep dive and see if he's from Tulsa.
No, let's not do that.
Oh yeah, you guys need to go find Brandon Biggs. Right. Be all creepers about it. Like, I'll stop. That's probably bordering on illegal. So.
Probably.
Yeah.
It's like when your favorite sport team loses and you keep playing back in your head how they didn't really lose, but they did. But this is far worse than that because people's lives are at stake.
Hey, hold
I
up,
just couldn't
stop
believe
there.
it. No.
This guy just admitted to making up a reality in his head and playing it on repeat. That's a bad red flag.
That you could be right. Like his analogy admitted what he did. Yeah.
Yeah. He's like, he just said, well, your favorite sports team lost, but you imagine that they win in your head and you play it over. Like, dude, you're making up reality. Stop it.
I was sitting, yeah, that's a good point. I was sitting thinking, I think that's got some plausibility to it. I was sitting there thinking, you just acted all shocked and horrified like you fell out of your chair, and then you immediately went to a sports analogy. Like,
he watches too much football.
It's like he didn't miss a goal. Like, what are you talking about? I don't know. It's just weird. It's a weird way to frame this. It's acting concerned when you're clearly not.
Yeah. Yep.
This not Mike. So I talked to this guy about an hour later, and he went through much of the details. And I said, all right, I have to contact Mike. So I was stunned. For 3 days, I walked around my apartment in Israel. Literally, I didn't talk. My wife, she looked at me. I couldn't make words. I was just so shocked because Mike has a message.
You're so shocked.
What is he shocked about again?
That Mike slapped a girl on the behind.
Mike Winger?
No, Dr. Brown.
Trevor, come on, keep up.
Yeah.
Oh.
Sorry.
Jesus.
Well, he kept saying Mike, and I was like, I thought we were talking about Dr. Brown.
Yeah, there's two Mikes. There's Dr. Michael Brown and Mike Winger. Mike Winger's interviewing. Mike Winger's interviewing Ron here, and
I see.
They're talking about Michael Brown, and so this guy who had a couple close calls in his 60, 40,
in the
50.
Walmart parking lot.
Yeah, one in the Walmart parking lot. Yeah.
How dare you? This is an 81 Honda.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. So.
I can't imagine a pastor and his secretary going to Walmart to pick up supplies.
That wasn't what happened. And look, let's be very clear. Michael Brown was being a perv. Like, he was being a perv. Like, the dude is guilty, and he's admitted that he was being a perv. But, you know, he's a Christian, so he doesn't use the word perv. He was being a perv. But it was 20 years ago. That happens to a lot of people. And it got stopped before anything serious. Like, this is not Ravi Zacharias. Ravi Zacharias had, like, a harem of masseuses on retainer and kept them until he died. Like, this isn't like an ongoing sin thing. This is stuff that happened in the past that got dealt with privately. that rumors floated around about.
And now they're bringing it up.
And now they're bringing it up again 20 some odd years later.
Are you caught up now, Trevor?
They're just trying to make money.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what else to say about it. Why now? Why now? It screams a little bit of that whole Brett Kavanaugh thing, where somebody brings up something from 30 years earlier. Why? Because you want to run somebody out of a position. Yeah. That's what it is. It's a pressure campaign. And this fake chagrin suggests it. It's like, really? He slaps a girl on the rear, and you spent the next 3 days in your apartment.
Just pacing in your apartment.
Yeah. I can't believe it. Having a moment of silence because of some dirty emails. It's like, you're full of it, dude.
Out of his chair.
And falling out of his chair. I mean, that was a little bit of hyperbole, but still, he's being melodramatic over something that is bad, but let's be honest, compared to that's minor league ball compared to Ravi Zacharias. Like the chagrin
compared to this dude's imagination, it's like I can't imagine.
Like he probably thought, well, if we know, like he was thinking, well, if we know about this, then what else happened? Yeah. Like that kind of thing. It's like if they were
just like he can make up in his head that his sports team won when they actually lost.
It was a weird analogy. It threw me off. It did throw me off. I thought, wow, that's weird. So, yeah, I'm repeating myself now, so we'll go on.
Called acharit, which is a Hebrew word that means the final end. It's a message he preached over and over again, and it's a powerful message. He preaches it at the end of the IHOP message, and it's a warning that if you knew, acharit means your final end. And you see it all through Proverbs, that if this person knew their final end, they wouldn't have done it in the beginning. Like a drug addict. If he could see himself dying in the streets, begging for money, he would not have taken that first hit.
Only could have seen the acharit. Only could have seen everything stripped away. Friends that have walked with God for years, ministers of the gospel. It takes a long time to climb up that mountain. It takes a long time to climb up that place where people respect you and you have a reputation for integrity and honor and trustworthiness. But you can fall from that mountain in 1 minute. You can open the door, 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 and then take one step and you're through it.
Mike was so...
He was speaking from experience.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Because he had a close call or two.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But now he's being vilified for freaking helping people learn. I mean, like, if you're going to vilify somebody for something like... Don't do it because they told the truth.
Yeah. Well, just imagine this. Saul killed Christians en masse before he became Paul. Wow. And they still he's like the most world famous missionary of all time. And they still let him into the church. They still accepted him as an apostle, not just a preacher, not just somebody in a position of authority, but an apostle. This guy slaps a girl on the can, and they're like, he's got to talk to the elders. This is horrible.
He's got to talk to the elders.
This is insane. Like, this is so stupid.
Yeah.
Strong with that message and disciplined. I just couldn't fathom that these were true. So I got a hold of him.
Really?
About 3 days later, and I said, Mike, I am...
No disrespect to Dr. Brown, but if we're being superficial and just thinking like normies... You take one look at him in his 40s and going, oh, yeah, he's slapping some girl on the rear end. He's got problems. He lost the weight. He's fine now. I think I can make the joke. He overcame it.
Yeah.
But, I mean, come on.
See, the way this guy just broke that down is he believed, while he was listening to that message from Dr. Brown, he believed that it was because Dr. Brown had some profound knowledge instead of he was speaking from experience.
Mm-hmm.
And so that when you have that thought process, you're idolizing people.
Right. He had him on a pedestal.
He idolized Dr. Brown.
Yeah. Yeah.
And now it's...
Guess what? Dr. Brown is a human and humans are stupid.
Shock.
Yeah. Guess what? Everybody's an idiot. When the Bible talks,
out of my chair.
yeah, I'm gonna fall in my chair and not talk for 3 days in my apartment.
In Israel.
In Israel.
In Israel.
Who knew when the Bible was talking about human depravity, it meant everyone. So. Good night.
You mean I shouldn't have any gods before God?
Apparently not. So,
oh my God.
I mean, look, he did wrong. And the girl said, "You're a dirty pervert," and left. As she should have. Because he was being a pervert. She dealt with it exactly as she needed to deal with it. The thing was done.
And he learned a lesson from it.
And he learned a very valuable lesson. And he's still clearly, like, if you listen to some of the stuff by him, he's still clearly bothered by it. Like, it was a painful thing that he went through because he screwed up and humiliated this girl, and she told him off. It's like, well, when we do we play stupid games and get stupid prizes. That's life. So it's like she dealt with it exactly the way she needed to. He got exactly what he deserved for being a pervert. Let's move on. But no, he's got to talk to the elders. That's just not good enough.
He needs to talk to the elders because I idolize them too.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
So if my idols tell me that my other idol is okay, then it's okay.
Yeah. It's like, because they're any better. Every last one of those guys on the board's going, there's been a girl or two, I've had a few rendezvous in the Walmart parking lot that weren't quite as, they were a little more private. So.
Yep.
Remember that song, "Whose Bed Have Your Boots Been Under"? Or no, it's Harper Valley PTA. I just got Harper Valley PTA running through my head. Okay. You remember that song?
Yeah.
Yeah, was it Dolly Parton?
No.
No, it wasn't. Who was that?
Was
it Patsy Cline? It can't be. I'm going to look it up.
Loretta Lynn?
Maybe. I'm going to look it up.
Okay. Why do you have that on your head?
Because these guys are being all judgmental and haughty, and it's like, really? I mean, look, it's bad. I'm not saying it's okay. All right. Yeah. Harper Valley. We are all so horribly off.
Who is it?
Jeannie C. Riley.
I don't even know that name.
I don't know who it is either. I'd play it if we wouldn't get copyrighted. So, all right. I think we've beat this dead horse enough. Do we want to continue talking about this next week? Because the story just gets crazy.
I mean, we could. I don't know. What do you think?
I think we should. Because we've been very judgmental and superficial. And I've kind of humored it because I wanted to emphasize the first impressions. And then I want to go into detail about the little things that keep coming up that validate those impressions. And I think that would be interesting because I don't want to call him Mr. Soul Patch and not justify why I'm making fun of this guy. So, because it's not just his looks. It's stuff he says. It's things you've pointed out. Yeah. And they keep coming up. And it's just, we're talking about body language. And again, we're going off suspicion here, but these guys are going off the same thing, and the difference between us and them is I don't want to see that guy get fired. I'm going to make fun of him. I'm going to make fun of Mike Winger. I'm like, you beta church boys remember high school, and you need to quit pretending like you don't. But I'm just going to make fun of them. I don't want them to get fired based on my suspicions because I don't know empirically. These guys want Dr. Brown to go through a humiliation ritual over the same kind of inference and evidence.
Why?
Because this is actually probably a power play. They want to dethrone the king, as you said, in my opinion.
And it'll make them feel good about their own bad decisions.
Yes. That's right. This is about stroking ego as much as it is anything. Well, I don't have a problem with that. Really?
Not that you know about.
Just because porn doesn't involve real people, it still counts. I mean, it does involve real people, but you know what I mean. You're looking at a laptop. So, we've all got issues. So, maybe come down off that high horse just a little bit. Yeah. Just a little bit.
But I have a soul patch.
And I live in Israel.
Oh, I lived in Israel.
That one takes a cake. You lived in Israel.
Yeah, so this annoyed me. And again, I'm sorry, go on.
It's tough for me to get through it because I hate listening to liars, but
you've got to for the good of the people.
I'll try.
And we got to just, because we've really tore this guy up without any proper justification yet. I'm saying the justification is coming. Because at the beginning of this video, I was, to my shame, I was wanting to gloat over Dr. Brown's fall. I do not like that guy, and I repented of that when I got about halfway through this. But
you fell into a den of vipers, did you? There's shitheads everywhere. Now I got to take a side.
So I just want to say that this is like the main thing I've watched on this. I started out really rooting for Dr. Brown's fall, and at the end I'm going, that poor man is getting railroaded. What's the matter with you people? And it all happens in this interview. So I found it like, you know, emotionally infuriating, but intellectually quite interesting. It's like, why did I flip during this video? So I wanted to analyze that. So
fair enough. Yeah, we'll watch it.
Okay, sweet. All right.
We'll watch it.
Well, Trevor, you have any final thoughts? Yes.
Hey, I thought of Uncle Cracker. That Uncle Cracker that's follow me, everything is all right. Yeah, that's Uncle Cracker.
Well, that's gonna be stuck in my head now. So
sorry.
That's all right.
Just think it's Jesus singing it.
There you go.
Without a soul patch. No soul patch on Jesus.
Yeah, I can't picture it. I can't picture it anyway. So, Trevor, you got any final thoughts, man?
No.
All right, and we're going to move on to the next thing. So, guys, if you're on the live stream, stay with us. We got 2 more subjects to cover, I believe. And if you're watching this after the fact, thank you so much for watching, and we will see you next time.
Deuces.
Bye-bye.
Right.
Thank you.
On to part 3. I do feel a little bad for calling him Captain Soul Patch. That might have been harsh.
I think it was great.
Oh, well, thank you. Okay, so we got New Brunswick and UFOs. I think we should start with the UFOs thing because I think it's going to be shorter, and I have less to click on with that.
Okay. Less is more.
All right, I'm just going to find it. I did pull it up, Trevor, I promise.
Well, it's still in chat if you want to grab it.
I might have to. All right. Good night. I pulled up a lot of stuff. What is the matter with me?
Oh.
Here we go. Here we go.
There it is.
All right, Trevor, you want to lead us in?
Welcome to Faith, Fiction, and Folklore, or the Triad Podcast, where we try not to F it up, which I already did. And thank you for being here, and thank Gary and Cody for being here. How are you guys doing?
A little guilty, but otherwise all right.
Good. The guilt
will
and
kill
truth will set you free.
Do not have guilt.
Well, I appreciate
Guilt
it,
is
but
good for
I went harder after that guy than I intended to. So
yeah,
So, oh, it's okay.
Everybody needs a little vitriol now and then.
Well,
it's all good, man.
Yeah, well, my day's coming, so I may as well milk it before it happens. So.
Anyways, I thought we would talk about Chase Hughes.
Okay.
He works for the CIA. He's like a psyops trainer. So he trains agents how to spot psyops.
Well, you could have just listened to Rush Limbaugh, but that still would be interesting.
Yeah. Anyways.
He did.
He talked about
He is.
The New Jersey drones happened last year.
Yeah. That thing that we
was
never
kind
got
of
an answer about.
Yeah, and he kind of explains that from his perspective.
Okay.
And it just made me think about it. We might fall asleep, but
might fall asleep.
I'm already yawning over here.
Yeah, you gotta hang in there, man.
Nobody made me coffee tonight.
I'm sorry. That stinks.
Yeah. She was water and flowers instead.
Ah. Yeah, that's what you get for slacking. The lack of coffee is a hint.
Yeah, it's my fault.
All right, here we go.
Are we in the middle of a psychological operation right now?
Yeah.
Yes, it's called Project Bluebeam. Thanks for playing.
We win.
There are thousands of drone sightings.
Never seen so many UFOs in my life.
and more weird stuff every single day.
Were they human or non-human?
Non-human. We are not alone.
Hey, it's a paper mache doll. Remember that?
I don't know if I can do this.
Just think, the same guy who made that horrible doll is the same guy that came up with that stupid orb. The Colombian Pluto orb or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're under an op. Thank you. We also watched that stupid conference. Are there aliens? Yeah. So.
You deserve to know how to tell what the hell is going on. And I just did a very confidential talk to my inner circle last night. But I think that you need to see this.
People within the U.S. government believe it's true.
The world deserves the truth.
Growing number of drone sightings.
They are non-human, higher intelligence.
Yeah, to be fair, though, I didn't believe a single person in that UFO conference. Not one of them. Just for the record.
Trevor, does this guy have classes or some premium thing you sign up for?
I don't think so. No, he just got his YouTube
He
channel
just
as
said
far
inner
as I know.
circle or something.
He's got
That's
the behavioral ops manual.
Oh. Well, there's that.
Is he? Yeah, he might be selling a class. Let's see what he has to say.
Unidentified aircraft are the size of cars.
Like the classic UFO that you would see online.
Oh, the classic.
A lot of people are wondering what the hell is going on. But what if I told you that the most dangerous thing is happening, but it's inside of your head? If you just think about it for a second, there's decades of silence on...
I agree.
Yeah.
On UFOs, and now suddenly the government is obsessed with talking about them. I want to show you exactly tonight what the...
And there was a direct correlation with all those UFO discussions and Hunter Biden's crack pipe.
plans and motivations are if this is being done on purpose.
Ah.
And then I want to walk you through a foolproof way on how to spot public manipulation. I'm also maybe going to talk about what to do if it's actually aliens. If you don't know, I'm the guy that trains psyops.
Okay, stop. What do we do if it actually is aliens?
Say hi.
Go back to sleep. Who cares? That's what I understand. Why is it a big deal? It's like, oh my gosh, there are other things out there besides us. It doesn't get weird until you start going to, they built us, they made the pyramids. It's like, no, you're just dumber than you realize.
Well, like, when you don't have a firm foundation, like when you don't believe in God, and then you start believing the idea of aliens, you automatically, like, your brain's always looking for a God, whether
right?
It's science or, whatever,
right?
But so your brain's automatically going to grab onto that. Oh, the Anunnaki used this to mine gold, and
yeah,
everybody wants to tell a good story, right?
Yeah. You don't believe in the monotheistic creator of the universe, you turn into a pagan idiot. So,
yeah. But if there is aliens and they're not demons, then that does really mess with the classic idea of God in my mind.
I people have said that. Like, you're not the first to say that. It's never
Like,
been
are
a
you
problem
saying
to
there's
me.
Other alien Bible, other planets.
Yeah, why not? Hey, have you ever read Paralandra by
In a beginning?
You need to read Out of the Silent Planet and Paralandra by C.S. Lewis. It's fantastic on this question. Because, he talks about other races that may have not fallen. He talks about how Satan might cause a race on another planet to fall or try to make them fall. Like, there's a whole exploration of what it would be like theologically if there were other races. It could be that we're the only ones that screwed up, and that's why we're still here. So, I mean, yeah, who knows? Maybe. So, yeah, it's an interesting topic.
I don't know.
I just don't think it would affect my world in any way. Unless they want to come say hi. It's like, don't catch a virus. Yeah, I don't know.
I'm the person that teaches this kind of stuff to companies and stuff. So the government's kind of gone from decades of denial to throwing around terms like UAPs, unidentified aerial phenomena, in official hearings. Add to that the sudden rise in reports of drones all over the place, these weird sightings and emergency declarations that are going on. I think in New
Actually, I think the greatest proof for the existence of aliens is the fact that they changed it from UFO to UAP. Because those freaking people in Washington just couldn't stand to let the rednecks be right. That's what I think. Just saying.
They had to rebrand.
It feels like we're being...
They had to rebrand, so they didn't have to admit that, Tucker in the trailer house knew all along,
prepped for something. But what are we being prepared for? So let's dig in. So why would this be happening right now? So we're going to go both sides. It's aliens, it's not aliens. Let's do both sides here. Most governments don't just usually open up about things like this without a reason.
That is paper mache. That is paper mache. Who in the right mind? It doesn't even... There's not even a seam for the arms to move, guys. Why?
All governments, when they start pushing a narrative, it's most often to serve a bigger agenda if this is deliberate. So here are 3 possible reasons I can think of why this might be happening. Number 1, a distraction tactic.
Oh, no kidding.
What?
Huge.
We should play Where in the World is Hunter Biden every time they have a hearing.
Did you see that video of him talking about crack?
I knew he did an interview recently, and I know he probably talked about crack for part of it.
I saw was incredible. I want to watch the whole thing.
What was incredible? The whole
Hunter Biden.
Oh, he was incredibly...
I want to watch the whole thing, but like he just the way he talked about being high and like all this stuff, like how crack is made. He goes over that. Like it's fantastic.
That could be interesting. That could be interesting.
Very truthful video.
Well, yeah, I mean, he's got nothing to lose at this point, I don't guess. He's got a pardon,
Right.
I think.
Yeah.
So
issues are brewing, like economic instability, political unrest, global crises. Somebody's done something bad and it's about to get in the news. Governments usually and very often create some kind of distraction. So remember when the Pentagon released UFO footage in 2020. That conveniently happened during a global pandemic, this chaotic thing that was going on around the entire world that we all suffered through. Number 2, using fear as a tool.
What? No.
yeah, they released COVID, though. That's the problem with that little theory. But anyway.
Or was the fear of the virus the whole time?
Yeah, they wanted everybody scared of the virus. Now, if they released the footage to delay it because they wanted to wait until about March when it was closer to the election, that would make sense, possibly. So, but no, they wanted the fear and the panic. I mean, CNN had a death clock, for crying out loud. Right. So, I don't know.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, but they do try to. Yeah,
You're not.
Yeah. They were trying to distract people from scandals at the White House a lot, though, for sure.
Yeah.
So what do you think, Trevor?
I think the COVID shot or whatever
Shot heard around the world. Shot felt around the world. Shot stuck around the world.
Was used for city folk, and then the UFO stuff was used for not city folk.
UFOs were for the country bumpkins.
Yeah.
Ethel, they're back. They're back.
Yeah, they actually released 2 distractions at once.
Yeah.
It was a multi-pronged attack based on class.
Well, I mean, right before COVID, they tried the coin shortage, and that was like everybody laughed at them. They were like, "Okay." They were like, "All right."
I forgot
we'll
about
the big
that.
Guns. We got to do coronavirus.
Yeah.
A coin shortage. Why?
Yeah, they just throw little things at you to make you scared.
Huh.
When it doesn't work, they throw it. That's why COVID, they kind of blew their wad. It's like
they lost all credibility with that. Yeah.
Yeah, they can't pull another psyop, for a while.
Yeah.
Not a big one.
Yeah. I think everybody's pretty well done.
They woke so many people up with that.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
Fear unites people. So if there is a threat big enough, and I want you to remember, if you're just listening to me right now, I'm sitting on your kitchen counter or something like that, and you're making dinner. I said the word threat with huge quotes around it. If there's a threat big enough, like UFOs, people are more likely to trust their leaders, give up freedoms, and rally behind whatever solution that they're offered. It's the same playbook used during the Cold War.
That is true. That's what happened with COVID. It was embarrassing. Our children are going to think we're like idiots, and they should.
Oh, not me.
Well, I didn't believe it, but I mean, good night. I was in the minority.
I was saying it was bullcrap openly, like to my kids and shit. Like in a month, like within a month.
I said, I was like, I'll wait to see after this 2 weeks of slow to spread thing, because I was already kind of like, yeah, we'll see if it's 2 weeks. If it actually goes longer than 2 weeks, you know it's crap. That was kind of where I was at. Sure enough, it was like 2 weeks later. Oh, we got to keep pushing it, and I'm like, this is crap. You know.
Take this vaccine, you get a free donut.
Oh yeah, it's like, oh, you get a hamburger. You get a hamburger with a free vaccine. I'm like, the government doesn't give you stuff. They're trying to kill you.
Yep, they're using the witch with the candy house tactic.
Exactly.
Take this shot, and here's the hamburger to activate it.
Yeah. It's filled with extra prions.
To that too.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. They tried that. They tried to stick those spike proteins in food.
Yeah.
They were trying to do that for a while. Vaccinate the food.
Crazy,
they really want to kill you. So
I think half of that crap that they use is just like literally just like snake venom and shit. But it's like natural stuff.
Yeah, it's like tumor meat.
It's like old witchcraft, man.
Yeah, no, I believe it. It's just rebranded. It's witchcraft rebranded. So.
Yeah. People are hard to kill without letting them know how they died.
Yeah. All right.
The Red Scare for that reason. Or post 9/11 with the War on Terror and the Patriot Act. And then number 3, testing the waters. This goes back to BC years. All 3 of these things go back to the BC years. This is not something that's original. So governments tend to test and gauge how people react. So if we accept UFOs as real and we don't freak out, that means we can kind of escalate the narrative without any pushback. So think of it like kind of a slow drip instead of pouring it all out at one time. And if you want to look back at some of these historical parallels, this is not the first time this has happened. There's just a few that come to mind right now. The first is the Gulf of Tonkin. This happened in 63 or 64, 1963 or 64. The United States used extremely questionable reports of attacks on naval ships, which were not true, to justify escalating this Vietnam War. And then in 1962, we had this thing called Operation Northwoods. This is a declassified plan about the U.S. officials staging, quote, fake attacks, completely fake attacks, like blowing up planes with people in them to justify against Cuba. And in the post 9/11, what I would call a fear campaign. So after the attacks, governments push for these just sweeping changes like the Patriot Act, which expanded massive surveillance under the guise of terrorism. So if you just replace terrorism or communism.
Now the airport gets to see you naked. Congratulations.
Pretty much. Yep.
With UFOs, you can start to see a pattern. So what might be happening? What might be happening right here? It might upset you. It might piss you off, but we're going to talk about that in just a second. So keep that in your back pocket for just a second. Number 1 is a normalization phase. So just steadily leaking UFO footage, holding hearings, using all these terms like UAPs all the time. The government makes the idea of something out there seem reasonable. So this keeps people curious but not panicked. Curious but not panicked. The second part of this is setting the stage for a big reveal. And I want you to keep that one in mind. So at some point, we might see a more dramatic event, like a giant UFO sighting over a major city, or footage that is just impossible to dismiss. And
the problem with that is we've already had several of those. I don't know if anybody remembers the Arizona lights. The Phoenix.
That's the problem, dude. With these psyops, there's no catharsis at the end. They just keep you. They keep your like leveling you up. Like, oh, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. There's no climax.
Right. Right. Eventually, everybody just gets bored and stops caring.
Yeah.
I would have been interested in the 90s. I don't really care now. So, I mean, as a kid in the 90s, but still, it's like at this point, it's like I don't give a rip if ET does show up. Just who cares now?
Okay.
Okay.
Shoot him.
Yeah, shoot him.
Giant holograms, giant drones, or other advanced tech just creating something that you cannot ignore. So number 3 would be a need for a savior. So once the threat feels real enough, governments or even global coalitions could step in as these heroes. They might call for increased defense budgets. Maybe all the governments in this area need to unite into one big government. Maybe a global response team, and I say that with quotes around it, to handle this threat. So this could lead to giant power shifts and more control in fewer hands is kind of maybe the goal of that. And this, you could look this up. There was even a plan to stage a fake kind of alien invasion. This is on record, on paper, that there was a full government plan to make a fake alien invasion. But what could be next? What could be down the pipeline from right now? If we follow this theory to the logical next step here, here's what might happen. First would be escalating UFO reports. They expect a lot more sightings, near misses with airplanes, mysterious objects interfering with infrastructure like power grids or airports. It's going to feel real and urgent. The next would be a media blitz that would come after that. So mainstream media will amplify the story. They're going to interview pilots. They're going to release grainy videos and have experts explain these things that are maybe defying physics. The goal, potentially, and I say all of this as a potential hypothetical, to make everybody believe this is a huge deal. Next would be a global event, and this could be something absolutely wild, like some kind of coordinated UFO appearance, maybe a simulated attack, or even some claim that we've made contact. And it doesn't have to be real, it just has to be believable enough. And of course, then we have a solution. So after the chaos, governments might roll out solutions like new defense initiatives, new military spending, government coalitions, governments kind of coming together, expanded surveillance maybe, and calls for like some international cooperation. All right, so why should we care? Even if all this theory sounds way the hell out there, the technologies exist to make all of it plausible. So holograms, drones, AI, deep fakes are advanced enough to fool large populations. And historically, going back to the year 1 AD, governments have shown that they're not above manipulating fear to get what they want. So now we get to what do we do? What the hell do we do about this? Number 1, stay frickin' critical. Do not take everything at face value. Always question why some stories are getting so much attention, and most importantly, who benefits from that story. And educate yourself. You need to look into historical precedents, maybe current technology. You could just use ChatGPT for a lot of this, and some government strategies. So the more you know, the harder it is for you to be manipulated. Focus on reality. So, of course, this is nothing but conjecture. I'm just sitting here at my house. We've got a bonfire going on outside. We're about to go sit outside for a little while and just enjoy nature around a fire like our ancestors did. And I don't know anything. I don't know anything more than you do about what's going on. So the sky's the limit for this conjecture, but maybe it's theatrics. But remember that not every light in the sky is some alien. Stay very grounded in what's provable, and know that getting angry at things that are outside your control is stupid.
I think it's a good place to leave it off. It's not
He's
bad
good.
advice.
Smart. I agree with him.
Yeah, that's why I didn't say the lights I was seeing were aliens, because I don't know.
Yeah.
So they're still out there, and they still annoy me.
What direction are they?
North. They moved from the northwest. They've started being in the north now. It's weird.
So if I'm standing on Highway 90, which direction would I point? Like left or right?
Oh, gosh. Let's see. On 90, if you're going west on 90.
Just take a compass with you.
Yeah, if you're going west on 90, I guess you would turn to your right.
Turn right.
Yeah,
Okay.
north. So, because they're,
Like 90 going north.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's they're weird. They're weird. I don't know if you can see them or not, but let me know if you do.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, they're
Right, might run up.
well,
on
in
the
theory
hill
though,
after this.
if you're at grandma's, they're right on top of you. In theory, because they're
Sweet.
floating over Thomas Holler. So, or at least particular.
Hey, easy. We're on the internet.
They don't know where Thomas Holler is.
Yeah, but
That's
you
like
get
saying
enough-
the
enough
supermarket
clues.
around the corner.
You could look up Thomas Holler and Highway 90 together, and you might find something.
You think so?
Maybe. I'm just saying, be careful.
Okay, all right. It was James Holler, not Thomas Holler. I lied.
Thomas was a doubter.
Yeah. Nobody would
It
name a
was
top.
Highway 96.
Nobody would name a holler after him. Are you crazy?
Oh, yeah.
All right. Bottom line, moral of the story: don't trust the government. These people are lying liars that lie. Just assume they're full of it until ET comes knocking on your door asking for a sandwich.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or Reese's Pieces.
Or Reese's Pieces. Then you suspect it's Spielberg and he's in hiding.
Or Epstein.
You could go there. So, all right. If you're on the live stream, please stay with us. We got one more subject left. If you are watching this after the fact, guys, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.
Deuces.
If you're lucky.
Okay. One more to go.
Punk.
Uno mas.
Uno mas. Uno mas. All right, what is this? Eminem, lose yourself. Right. My angry Epstein alien thing.
Why do you have that pulled up?
Which one?
That's what we just watched.
Yeah, I got a bunch of stuff I should have turned off because there's probably like a lag now. Because I'm an
Turn
idiot.
it off. Turn it off.
Okay, so how do I best do this? All
My
right.
phone's dying.
I wasn't going to do this.
Mine too.
We are hurting for time, so let's try to start from the beginning.
You want to save this one till next week?
Well, I already put it on the thumbnail, so we should probably finish
fair
it
enough.
because I already teased it. So
Yeah. So teasy of you.
I know. It's marketing. So
Oh, is it your witch stuff?
yeah, it's the witch stuff. I'll try to make it quick though, about not an hour if I can help it. So, all right, are we ready, gentlemen?
Let's do it.
All right. Welcome to Faith, Fiction, and Folklore, or as we like to call it, the Try F Podcast, where we try not to F the podcast up. And today, I was reading a random old book because I am a nerd. And I came across a story that I found very interesting. It's called The New Berwick. Let me read this because I can never say the word right. The North Berwick Witches, or the North Berwick Witch Trials. Now, this took place in 1590 to 1592. There were more than 70 people accused of being witches in East Lothian, with their activities centering on the town of North Berwick. Now, the guy who basically oversaw these Trials was King James, the same guy who wrote oversaw the putting together the King James Bible. So I was reading his stuff on demonology, and I came across this. It was like an addition to the end of that book. So let me see if I can pull the book up really quick. Hang on here. And let me switch this. Yeah, here we go. So this is the actual, like, I don't have the picture of the actual book cover, but yeah, this is from the Scottish newspaper that, talked about it. So, the manifold truths which are spread abroad concerning the detestable actions and apprehensions of those witches whereof this history following truly treats, has caused me to publish the same in print, and the rather, for that a number of written copies are lately dispersed thereof, containing that the said witches were first discovered by means of a poor peddler traveling to the town of Tranit, and that by a wonderful manner he was in a moment conveyed at midnight from Scotland to Bordeaux in France, being places of no small distance between, in a merchant's cellar there, and after being sent from Bordeaux into Scotland by certain Scottish merchants to the King's Majesty, that he discovered those witches, who was the cause of their apprehension. So, and just for some interesting historical stuff, here are some pictures from that paper. So this is the first column, picture of the first column. No, I'm wrong. This is one of the pictures from that column. Yeah, this is the first column. The manifold truths. Yeah. So let me switch to that really quick, because for some reason, hang on a minute, technical difficulties.
Well, that's exactly what you just read a minute ago.
Uh-huh. Yep, that's what I just read a minute ago. So, now what are you doing? Excuse me. It's Firefox is being frustrated. There we go. All right, so yeah, this is the picture of what we just read. And that's from the original paper. And here are some of the wood cuttings. Well, that's another piece of the paper. There's a wood cutting from that newspaper article. Here's where I got those pictures.
There were demons in those cuttings. Did you see those?
Yeah, because they're describing the satanic ritual. Yeah. And I found this ritual to be absolutely bizarre. What I pulled up is going to be a broad history, but I just found it to be... Basically, I don't think these were witches at all. I think this was a drunken joke gone horribly wrong. When you start reading between the lines a little bit.
It does happen.
Yeah, because at one point the witches decide that they're going to kill King James. I'm sure this was all done in a drunken stupor. So they get up, they go to this church, and they're having this midnight mass thing, and the devil's behind the pulpit. And the devil, at some point in the night, is like, "You guys are late. I'm mad at you. Kiss my butt." And the witches proceed to kiss his butt. And what's hilarious is they actually drew a picture of them kissing his butt. That is from the time. And all the witches lined up to kiss the devil's butt. And after that absurdity...
Must be real.
Oh, yeah, it must have happened. So after that absurdity... They got mad at the devil because the devil forgot the voodoo doll they were going to use to kill King James. So the witches all kissed this guy's butt, and then the guy forgets the voodoo doll. I'm like, this is some dude dressed in a suit, and he forgot all his stuff. So I just thought it was a funny thing, but it blew into this big deal. And I thought before we began, providentially, actually, as I was doing research to trying to decide a quick way to tell this story, it turns out Ryan Reeves, the guy who did the History of Santa Claus documentary, also did a documentary on this topic, like not even like 5 months ago or something. Let me check.
Nice.
Let me check. Yeah, like 4 months ago. So I thought we would watch Ryan Reeves's video on the topic after we listened to some of the testimony from the trial. So here we go.
Confession of Agnes Sampson. Catalogue reference SP 52/47F14I. In the course of a witchcraft trial, the accused could give a confession, sometimes given freely, sometimes forced, which would be used as evidence against them. Agnes Sampson was burned for witchcraft, and this source contains parts of her confession. 29 January 1590. Page 1. From top into line 8 of main text. Certain notes of Agnes Sampson, her confession, 27 January 1590, whereupon she was convicted by an assize and burned in Edinburgh 28 day for a witch. Imprimis, the said Agnes confesses that after the death of her husband, the devil appeared unto her in the night, till she was, and pensive for the sustentation of her and her bairns, bidding her to be of good cheer and leave.
So just so you know, when he pauses, that means they can't read the word. Just for clarity.
R word, probably.
Yeah. Or it's just sloppily written or whatever.
For her children, promising that if she would serve him, she nor they should lack nothing. And being motivated with her poverty and his fair promises of riches and revenge of her enemies, took him for her master and renounced Christ. Page 2, third paragraph. Item. She confesses that upon a complaint of a woman of the frowardness of her father-in-law and her earnest desire to be quit of him, she made a picture of wax and raised a spirit at a waterside beside a briar bush, desiring her to enchant it to serve for his destruction, and send it to the said woman to be put under his bed sheet or bed head. Page 4, second paragraph. Item. She confesses that she raised the devil by her evocations to ask if a gentlewoman should live or die. He appeared to her in likeness of a black dog before supper, she being alone. But after supper, having the gentlewoman's 3 daughters with her, of whom one would have drowned herself in the well out of the which the dog came, and whither he went, and was hardly stayed through the violent pulling and holding of her sisters, and the said Agnes Sampson, the said gentlewoman was made a quarter of an hour thereafter.
What?
All right, those are some segments of it. So she's
What
based.
did that last part mean? The dog tried to get her out of the well and she was made?
I don't know. Let's listen to that again.
And whither he went, and was hardly stayed through the violent pulling and holding of her sisters, and the said Agnes Sampson, the said gentlewoman was made a quarter of an hour thereafter.
Made a what? Made a witch? That's obviously nomenclature we don't know about, or we don't understand. So, but I thought that was interesting. I thought it was interesting to note that this is somebody like transcribing their testimony after the fact, which makes it very suspect. But this is what was written down at the time. So I just thought that was an interesting little historical tidbit.
Nice.
So
that's from the 1500s?
Mm-hmm. That is from 1590. Nice. Yeah. So that's pretty cool. Anyway, so here is Ryan Reeves. Cannot recommend his channel enough. Documentary for this particular event. And here we go.
Okay, so King James, that King James, that King James, the one from the Bible, once got so spooked out by witches that he eventually researched and wrote a book on demonology. Meaning James, this great king of England and Scotland, the name tied to the Bible and the throne, is also the only Christian king in history to write a book on demons. And yes, you heard that right, demonology. It's bizarre, it's unexpected, and it's exactly why we're diving in. Because this isn't just a quirky footnote in history. It's a shadowy chapter of the Reformation, a grim slice of the 16th century, and a really haunting moment for Scotland itself. And at the heart of it stands King James. But back then, he was still King James VI of Scotland. But let's uncover what drove a king to write such a work. and how it fueled one of Scotland's darkest obsessions.
After we watch an ad with a pink bear in it.
There's 8 billion people in the world.
It's a skinwalker.
Yeah, it's a skinwalker, right? Something went wrong in the ceremony, though.
To unravel the witch trials
Not
that
as
gripped
bad as
Scotland in the
pink
1590s, we must begin with the man who stood at the epicenter, King James VI of Scotland. Born June 19, 1566, in Edinburgh Castle, James entered a world of chaos. His mother, Mary, Queen of Scots, was forced to abdicate just a year later in 1567, fleeing to England and leaving the infant James as king under a series of regents. His childhood was anything but stable, in other words, marked by a kidnapping at Stirling Castle in 1570, the assassination of his regent, the Earl of Moray, that same year, and the brutal murder of another regent, the Earl of Lennox, in 1571. Political intrigue swirled around James like the mists over the Highlands. Perhaps because of this, James grew up a wary, scholarly, and a kind of bookish man who was also very protective, in fact, fiercely protective of his crown. You might say James' platform, to use a modern political idea, was three things: royal authority, Protestantism, and the eradication of any element in Scotland that threatened any of these two issues. In this case, it was witches. And James was going to destroy them. So by 1590, now in his mid-20s, King James of Scotland had emerged as a ruler of striking intellect. Fluent in Latin, he was a poet and a devout Protestant, steeped in the teachings of John Knox's Reformation. He was obsessed, in particular, with the doctrine of the divine right of kings, a belief he later articulated in the 1598 treatise, The True Laws of Free Monarchies.
And a doctrine the Americans kicked out of the Enlightenment. America, heck yeah.
Why would they do that?
Because the doctrine of divine monarchy is stupid.
Why is that?
Because it means basically the king can do no wrong.
It means all governments are put in place by God, like Paul says?
No. It means that the king is literally the direct servant of the Almighty. And so it's like his words are on par with the Pope. It's that kind of like religious connotation with the monarch. So, yeah, we got rid of that. Sort of. Technically, the Magna Carta got rid of that, but, details.
James is really one of the strongest to say that kings on this earth have no checks and balances. They can't be held accountable in this life, only in the life to come. God will get them in the end. That was always the idea. But you can't censure or remove a king from office. That's James' position. Also, because he's king, everything is going to be Protestant. Therefore, if you are a Catholic, or in this case, if you are part of the cabal of witches that are trying to destroy Scotland, well, James is going to come down with the force of the entire kingdom. The story begins with the betrothal of James and Anne of Denmark, a powerful connection to another Protestant nation, an important alliance in the percolating anger of what would soon become the wars of religion. For now, James was simply a young king waiting for his bride to arrive. Only she didn't. She was late. And then word came. Anne had boarded a ship for Scotland, and not once, but several times, the wind blew them off course and forced them back. Not to be a man short on chivalry, James decided he was going to mount an effort to go and fetch his new love. And he set sail in 1589 from the city of Leith. His destination was Elsinore Castle. Yes, that Elsinore Castle from Hamlet, where Anne awaited for her prince. The journey, though, was anything but smooth. Storms battered the fleet.
What?
Oh, Hamlet.
Yeah.
At the Orkney Islands.
You gonna say something again, Trevor?
No, sorry.
Oh, you're good.
Continue.
Yeah.
Claiming James's life, and when he finally returned back to Scotland on May 1st, 1590, with Anne finally in tow, docking in that same city of Leith, he was a changed man, convinced that dark forces were conspiring against his kingdom of Scotland and the Scottish people. You see, this is a bit of a mutation, you might say, of a previous problem. Denmark had already been gripped by witch hunts for some time, influenced by others in Europe and the growing panic over diabolical conspiracies. James was impressionable, and he was surrounded now by Dutch scholars who began to argue that witchcraft was likely to blame for what was going on with Anne's disaster of a voyage. This wasn't just about the weather, they argued. It was about the survival of God's anointed king. And Scotland was no stranger to the fear of witches either. In fact, just 3 years prior to his birth in 1563, the Scottish Parliament passed the Witchcraft Act, a harsh law that declared witchcraft and even consulting with witches punishable by death. The ink had barely dried on this document when James even came into the world, but for decades, that law simmered more quietly. Large-scale witch hunts were rare. The act was more of a shadow we see in the statute books from time to time than a fire in the streets. There really is not the mobs of people that are chasing down witches everywhere. That is.
Well, let's ask a question. Let's ask the question. Were there really witches? Or were the people back then just stupid? Or is the answer somewhere is in between?
Probably somewhere in between.
I would think so.
I would think so. Witch is an arbitrary term that you can call whoever stands against you.
Mm-hmm. C.S. Lewis made a good point, though. It's like in terms of like, not that he was affirming the existence of witches, but he did make the point that, you know, people say that the Christian religion has in the past acted inconsistent with its moral decrees. But he's like, no, if you believe a woman actually could, or some dude, whoever, actually could make a deal with the devil and wipe out a whole town, you'd set that person on fire. So, you know, it's not, the thing is not that we've evolved as a people, it's that we no longer believe in witches. That's the distinction. So, the question is, what actually would have prompted them to believe in witches? What's the most likely explanation for people to actually start saying that witches exist in the government? Not, you know, not like the vampire thing where some priest is like, they made me drive a stake through that thing's heart, otherwise they're going to kill me. Please don't, you know, don't expel me from the church. I didn't have a choice. Not like that, but like the government comes in and goes, witches are a thing and we got to stop these guys. What would really cause that?
What would really cause that?
Yeah. Like, could it be plague? Maybe they just didn't know germ theory. They always assumed the plagues were witches. Maybe the witches are real. Maybe there was something else.
The UFO thing that we're doing. I mean, it's a distraction against, you know, a big policy change that's going to take away money from the people or something.
So you think they were scaring the populace to kind of maintain control of the public?
Yeah.
Interesting. I hadn't thought about that, Cody.
I mean,
that's
like
a
that
plausible
picture you got pulled
idea.
up with the Simpsons, you get everybody teamed up against them.
So it was a psyop.
Like they feel like they're doing something good.
That's not a bad theory. That's not a bad theory at all. I like that. Yeah. I hadn't thought of that.
But to answer the question is whether or not the witches are real. I've literally met people that dress the part, act the part, tattoos on their fingers, like.
Of course, when I say real, I mean, you know,
I don't know.
Actually summoning demons and not just dancing naked under the moonlight because they're hedonists.
Right.
So okay, like.
Yeah, I mean, who knows?
So
I mean, I think you can impart demons, but.
Yeah, I mean, I think so too. I just don't know how effective all that is. It's like, maybe effective's the better word as opposed to real. Are witches actually effective, or are they just goobers, you know, worshiping sticks or whatever? So, all right. But no, I like that psyop theory. That actually makes sense. That makes a lot of sense, actually. So, what do you think, Trevor?
I think if witches weren't real, why would all these other countries like Africa and Haiti and stuff have witch doctors?
Mm-hmm.
I've got 5 minutes left on my laptop battery.
Oh, crud.
Apparently it's not charging.
Uh-oh. Is it plugged in? I know that sounds like a snarky question, but I'm trying not to be snarky.
Thought I plugged it in. Let me go check.
All right.
I ain't got no gas in it.
Well, Trevor, push back a little bit then. You don't think it's a psyop. You think it's
Oh, no, it's definitely a psyop, but they're using... It's the same thing they've been doing since day one. Lucifer was the original witch. Okay, witches aren't real. You know, they say it's a saying. Lucifer's greatest thing was to get people to believe that he's not real. So he's just replaying it. Okay, well, witches are not real.
So you think... Okay, I'm having a hard time following you. Let me see if I understand. You think the idea of this whole thing being a psyop is indicative of the devil trying to deceive people into thinking he's not real?
Oh, yeah.
So you think they are real?
Very real.
Okay. And you think that they were really wiping out towns back then? Or do you think they were wiping people out and that was scaring people enough?
I think it's very plausible, yes.
We'll come back to that. Cody, is your computer okay?
Yeah, you were right. You should be an IT guy.
From India. That was racist.
Come again.
Always check the gas.
Oh, buddy.
Well, you know they would have asked first in that accent, you know. Did you plug it in? And you're like, oh, did I plug it in? Yes, No, I didn't plug it in. Thank you.
Come again.
Racist. Okay.
A fluffy pillow.
Okay, so Trevor had an interesting theory, Cody, and I'll push on it. See what you have to say. So he's thinking that the government didn't believe it. They used it as a psyop, and that's part of the devil's scheme to make people think the witches aren't real. But the witches are real. So there was a problem that people were talking about. The government didn't believe there was a problem, but they still saw an opportunity. So what they did is they made these witch acts as kind of a psyop, even though they didn't believe it, and that somehow was like meant to convince people that the witches aren't real. Like maybe, I don't know, maybe it's like now that the government said
the devil ever pulled was to convince you that he didn't exist.
Yeah, so he's trying to convince you that he doesn't exist. So he makes the government give witches the stamp of approval. And it's just like us with the aliens. It's like now that Uncle Sam says they're aliens. I don't believe there's aliens. I think Uncle Sam's full of crap. The devil won. So is it something like that, you think?
Okay. Yeah, maybe.
Maybe? I don't know, Trevor. What do you think?
I just try to not believe anything.
That's
kind of my...
Oh.
Only the Father is good, right?
Right.
I like the idea that it's a psyop. That makes a lot of sense. I'm just speculating. But
Here's
what if...
another question.
Go for it.
Assuming that witches are a thing and they're real, how do you tell what's a good witch and a bad witch?
I would argue there's no distinction. If you're summoning demons, that would mean you're doing
just
something
said it.
bad.
Only the Father is good.
There you go.
There you go. Okay, well, can we tighten up our wording here to get to the question? So, like, marginally good witches versus marginally bad witches.
We're not putting butter in it.
We're not putting butter
It's
in
all
it.
demon worship.
Yeah,
it's all demon worship.
I agree. I think it's all demon worship. I don't think there's nature spirits or whatever. I'll put good witches in a book if it's expedient, but I don't actually think they exist. So, well, I mean, good witches. Do you think good witches exist?
I believe
marginally
there are-
good.
I believe there are people out there that try to do the right thing by being a good witch. Like they ask God to, like they pray over their tarot cards and ask God to intervene.
That's retarded.
There are people that do that. I'll have to see if I can find you a video. There's people that do that.
So deceived people with good intentions.
Yeah.
To argue that point, I guess, like Solomon, but now, because see, Solomon, the whole story is he turned his back on God because he thought he could do it himself.
Yeah, he turned his back. Well, he
and that's how
followed
he figured out all the what demons like and don't like.
Assuming that I don't even know if that book was actually by Solomon, though.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, but according to the lore, right.
Yeah.
Oh. I had
it's all. There's no good end to that, to demon worship.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to have a happy ending either way. So, but is there... I had a thought. Let's see. So, It had something to do with the PSYOP thing. What if it was like they didn't have germ theory, right? So there's plagues, there's people dying en masse. I mean, of course, this would be like unique to Denmark. But that's the problem, though, too. Like, this is a specific incident in Scotland. This wasn't like a mass persecution of witches. You know what I mean? So I do think we have to bear that in mind. This was a reaction to a specific event, the storm. Now, it makes me wonder what was going on in Denmark, because if Denmark was like a mass extinction effort of witches or whatever, or a mass hunt of witches, then what might have happened was King James goes over to Denmark, the girl puts it in his head, and then he sees these witches and is reacting because of stuff his girlfriend told him. You know what I mean? So it's like he's reacting to, you know, stuff that she believes. She's got him convinced. So
that does happen.
Mm-hmm. So it might be that. But it might also be like if it was a mass extermination effort, they could have just been looking for something to blame because of the plagues. You know? Because unlike with the vampire thing, where you've got like these weird external anomalies, like physical anomalies that people pretend didn't happen.
You're saying the plagues were intentional?
I don't know if they were intentional or not. I think I think the plagues were the result of those people being filthy, to be just blunt. Like that Europe at that time, like they did not follow the Levitical law, let's say, or just bathe on a daily basis. Like it was really gross time to be alive. So
like Monty Python?
Yeah, it was a lot. Yeah, it was quite a bit like that. So
bring out your dead.
Yeah. And that's horrible, but yeah, that's what it was like, because they didn't. You just have so many.
It says Monty Python.
Yeah, it says Monty Python. True, but you had so many. You had your populations growing. You're learning how to farm, and like really understanding it. Society's finally starting to like, you know, cohere back together after the fall of the Roman Empire, which took forever. You know, you've got basically from my understanding, the worst of the Muslim conquests are over at this point.
I'll be right back.
Yeah. And so society's starting to like come back together. And so you're going to have a population explosion. And if everybody's dirty during a population explosion, a lot of people are going to die, but people don't understand germ theory, right? So the witch thing, like the germ theory thing and blaming the plagues on the witches would actually make sense. It doesn't make sense the vampire thing, though, because you have a lot of weird anomalies that you can't, you know, put together. But with the witch thing, it does.
The filth thing is ultimately the fault of the city because not having enough infrastructure to maintain that amount of people.
Right.
Like when you don't have modern plumbing and you have that many people packed into a spot, like I mean, you know about the dome in Katrina.
Oh, I haven't heard this story. No, go on. I know what
Katrina.
No, I don't know about that.
Okay,
story.
so they opened up the Superdome where they play football for people to rest in. Right, it became a shithole, like a literal shithole within a week.
Yeah,
like because I mean you have to have plumbing.
Yeah.
Period. You have to get rid of poop or you're gonna get sick.
Yeah.
Like period. And it's the fault of the city. You know, so them having a scapegoat to say, hey. There's probably these witches making you sick. It's not because we don't have plumbing.
Yeah, I think that's got some plausibility. Sure, for sure. That's kind of what I suspect. I mean, I wouldn't say that with the vampires though, because you got that weird physical stuff. I don't know what was going on with that, but with the witches, you know, you've got this official decree. It's like, hey, we got to ban those witches, man. They're awfully bad. Well, that keeps the people from getting mad about the gutters being full of poop. Yeah. So that might have been what was going on. It's a theory. I'd have to do more research to kind of check and see if the population was really blowing up around that time and if they were just hunting witches at
India
random.
From revolting this whole time.
I don't know.
You know?
Yeah.
They must just vaccinate the crap out of them.
Bill Gates is banned for doing those vaccinations, so I don't know. Maybe that's I don't know. I don't know,
man.
But I had a whole other thought.
Sorry.
No, it's okay.
Thank you. Come again.
Oh, yeah, that's what it was. The Black Plague came back for a while. in like Africa for a brief spat, and they figured out that they figured out that there was a group of people messing around with corpses. That was what was doing it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but these people wouldn't know anything about germ theory, so that's probably may have been the motivation of it.
Yeah.
But Trevor, what are your theories?
I don't have theories.
You just know.
I just don't know.
Based.
There we go. There we go. All right, based. Anyway, back to Ryan Reeves.
Is until King James' reign. That changed everything. James' harrowing voyage to Denmark in 1589, paired with a fragile sense of his own security forged by a turbulent childhood, became the spark. When he stepped back onto Scottish soil in 1590 with his new queen, Anne of Denmark, by his side.
See, he's conjecturing like we are, though, and he's kind of selling it as fact. I don't think it was his damaged childhood. I think it was the woman. I'll just say that.
And that does not look like a woman.
No, his wife was like, "Hey, we burn witches. Maybe that's what happened." So, and then he's like, "Oh, you must be right. Let me look for some witches."
It's a sweet necklace, though.
That is if you're a poodle.
It's a turtleneck.
Are you talking about this?
It's legit. It's a legit necklace. Neck lace.
Ah, you're right.
Aha.
So
that's lacy?
Looks like it.
It looks uncomfortable.
It could be a muskrat.
I don't know why anybody would wear something like that.
I think he's just trying to be a peacock.
Of course, I don't know why people wear bell-bottom jeans either, but that's just me.
Yeah.
Whispers were already spreading. A sinister conspiracy was afoot, they said. Witches had woven dark spells to drown the king and his bride beneath the furious waves of the North Sea. But for James, this wasn't just rumor. It was personal.
You're just trying to hurt
Then
me.
what about the moment when you actually realize that you're not here by accident?
Spread the word,
That's
spread
Tim
the
Tebow.
gospel.
What?
That was Tim Tebow.
That was Tim Tebow. You are correct,
He played
sir.
the footballs.
He did. He did.
My mama said.
What? I don't get that reference. What? Oh, Waterboy.
Waterboy.
Okay.
Mama said.
Okay. Okay. There was a lag there. Speak a little louder next time. So.
Sorry.
20 miles east of Edinburgh, along the Firth of Forth, lies a coastal town named North Berwick. And yes, that is going to be the last time I pronounce this in the Scottish way. My Scottish friends can choose to be mad at me. That's fine. I'm going to pronounce it like myself, which is my muddled accent.
Well, I don't have Scottish friends, so I've been calling it Berwick. That's embarrassing.
Berwick.
Berwick.
Just mumble a little bit.
Berwick.
Berwick.
Yeah, I read your comments.
What?
Just say it lazier.
Just say it lazier. Okay. Just trying
Stop
too hard.
enunciating so much. Be a Scot. Only a threat Scotsman.
There you go.
But North Berwick is a small fishing town, with the quaint stone cottages that are buffeted by the winds coming in from the harbor. It's an unlikely place for a national crisis. Yet, in November 1590, it became ground zero. The trouble began with a young servant girl named Gillis Duncan. Now, Gillis lived a quiet life in the nearby village of Trennet. And Gillis was employed by a really kind of nasty piece of work by the name of David Seaton. And he was the deputy bailiff of the little village. And he was a staunch Calvinist. He wasn't a pastor, he wasn't a theologian. He was simply one of these folks who was always on the lookout for the boogeyman. And he was, we must say, thoroughly obsessed with Gillis. In fact, a lot of historians stop short of this. I won't. I think he's a creep. I think what he's doing towards her is essentially stalking her and using some sort of inappropriate fascination with Gillis to enact his sort of twistedness. You see, Gillis was a girl of humble origins and humble means, probably no older than 16. And she had a reputation of slipping out under the cover of night. Heaven forbid 16-year-olds act like themselves. Whispers followed, and tales of her uncanny knack for healing the sick, easing fevers with herbs, and gathering things from around the surrounding woods to help started to mount a case, at least in Seaton's mind, that he was dealing with a witch. Again, he was obsessed with her. He felt it was his duty to know where she was at all times, where she was going off to at night, and he, as deputy bailiff, had the power and the zeal to figure this out himself. Whatever she was up to, Seaton knew it was sinister. So around mid-November in 1590, he decided to take matters into his own hands. In a dank cellar, cold, stone-walled beneath his own home, Seaton subjected Gillis to the thumb screws, a brutal device of iron that clamps down on her fingers, crushing bone and sinew with each twist. He also used the witch's bridle, which is this iron muzzle that also pierces the mouth. Under this torment, Gillis broke and confessed to all sorts of things. Now, a quick note on torture, not the thing I thought I would be talking about, but here we are. In no circumstances ever is it the case that torture ever reveals some hidden truth. I know we see that all the time in movies and shows. That doesn't happen in real life. It doesn't happen in history. If you don't believe me, just see interviews with CIA operatives, and they reveal this over and over. If you torture people, you tend, usually, to break their mind entirely, and then the information you get is entirely worthless. Torture does nothing. So all that's happening...
It's not exactly true. They just babble and like say random things to get you to leave them alone. So
They'll say anything just to get the pain to stop.
So like one of the things that defense attorneys look for when they're making their case to defend a defendant, if the prosecutor or the detective is feeding information. So if you put somebody in an interrogation room for like 12 hours, now this isn't as extreme a case, but if you put somebody in an interrogation room for 8 to 12 hours and you start going, we think you did this, right? And then you go, that counts as a confession. Yeah. But really they're spoon feeding you the tale. They set the narrative themselves. And so anything...
Making a murderer.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was. Yeah, it's making a murder. It's what happened to Making a Murderer. Of course, the kid was slow too, so they knew they could get away with that. So yeah, this is kind of a thing that they do. So it's you put somebody's hands in a thumb screw or whatever, then their testimony is worthless at that point. So.
To Gillis at this point, or to any of the other witches that are to be tortured to have a confession, is nothing more than that. A false confession. But she confessed, coerced and trembling, spilling forth all of this information that she did not do. Gillis admitted to being a witch, claimed that she had danced with the devil himself. Seaton, though, was not happy with that answer. He pressed harder. And Gillis, with Seaton's promptings, we might add, started to imply that others in the area were part of this coven of witches. She mentioned someone by the name of Agnes Sampson, a midwife from Haddington, and John Fian, who was a schoolmaster from another village, and a web of...
So Agnes Sampson is the girl that we listened to a little bit earlier, and so all that random stuff she said was also said under torture. So
who was the first? Back it up like 5 seconds.
Gillis was the first girl. Let's see, torture Gillis.
Who's the second one?
Agnes is the next girl.
What is she? What was her occupation? Did it say?
I don't think it's said much about her yet. It's just a random girl. The girl named.
Okay.
So
you got a healer and a teacher, so far.
Possibly.
Says the guy was a teacher.
Oh, Ryan Reeves.
Yeah.
You said it was a healer and a teacher.
The third guy on there.
Oh, yes.
John
Fian. Yeah.
Yeah. Said he was a teacher.
So you got a healer and a teacher. So that would have been maybe people she was going to school with, perhaps?
No, it's people the government doesn't want changing their narrative.
Oh, interesting.
Good witches.
Very interesting.
Others across East Lothian. Her words, wrung from agony, set off a chain reaction that would blaze through Scotland like wildfire, pulling King James himself into the fray and marking North Berwick as the epicenter of a growing storm of witches.
My work is easy because I use ClickUp. Here's how I keep track of all my tasks.
These are a lot of ads.
I start by brain dumping everything I need to get
Clickbait
done
ad.
in a
Okay, so now in the 1590s, King James is getting involved. In fact, he's very much involved in almost every witch trial that he can get his hands on. During one chilling session in Holyrood, within the Privy Chamber, Agnes Sampson, the person whose name was given out before by Gillis, was facing the king herself. Worn down by torture, her tongue still scarred from the witch's bridle, she whispered the words that stopped James cold. You see, James had not let up on the fact that he felt that someone had tried to assassinate him and his queen, Anne. And here, under torture, James alleges that Agnes leaned in and recounted a private exchange that he had with Anne on their wedding night back in 1589 in Denmark. It was a tender moment James felt had been whispered away from prying ears. Now, this story, we have no idea what to make of it. James says this. You have two choices. Either James is lying, and he's using the story to further push his justification of torture and execution, or somehow someone told Agnes what to say. I guess the third option could be she is a witch and she has preternatural knowledge of this story. I'm just not going with that one. But for James, when Agnes said this...
Isn't it... He's probably right, but isn't it interesting that everybody's instantly like, no, I'm not going there? Yeah. Probably right. I just always find it really interesting that people are like, no. Just like, guys, we don't know what in the world's out there. It could be, but I mean, he's probably right. It's probably the guy being pervy, but you know, why would you assume that with no evidence? Because we're not given any information that would imply the guy's pervy, except that he's mad that the girl's sneaking out at night. We're not given any other information to that. But you're willing to infer the guy's pervy, but you're not willing to infer that maybe the woman had preternatural knowledge. I mean, just why? Why do we lean so far one way and not the other? Just quote Tucker Carlson, I'm just asking questions. So.
No one else could have known it.
Do you like that?
And for James, that was no trick.
What? Do you like
that? Do you like that?
Do I like that? I guess.
I thought that was so funny.
Oh, yeah, okay. I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah. Oh, he made me mad during that interview. Anyway. Oh, just blood shooting out of my eyes.
It was the proof that he needed of the diabolical power within Scotland. Convinced of her guilt, he had her declared a witch on the spot, and her fate was sealed. She was strangled and then burned on Castle Hill, January 28th, 1591. And then her ashes were thrown over the edge of the cliff of Edinburgh Castle. And Agnes wasn't the only one. John Fian, the schoolmaster we mentioned earlier, and he was hauled into prison. And there he faced the boots, another torture device. This time where iron wedges were driven between wooden planks to crush the legs into a pulp. And under this torment, on the day after Christmas no less, he confessed to leading the witches in a pact with Satan, orchestrating the North Berwick Coven's rituals. And he testified their intent was to drown James in the storms using a spell conjured from the devil's playbook. From there, the witch trials just exploded, and exact numbers are a blur in the fog of history. But the outcome was clear. Many, many dozens were burned to death on Castle Hill, strangled by the hangman's rope, then burned at the stake, and the pyres lighting up Edinburgh's night sky throughout 1591. The North Berwick Witch Trials didn't quench James VI's obsession with the supernatural. They actually stoked it into a roaring blaze. By 1597, 7 years after the fires of Castle Hill had died down, James channeled his fears into one lasting legacy.
That's not what that was. It was a broad kind of his opinion about how demonology works and his opinion about that stuff. Yeah. Channeling his fears is not a fair representation. It's his opinion about all that, how all that works. He studied it broadly and then wrote a book about it. That's not. I'm sorry you don't like James. I get it, but that's not how that went down. I read the book. I know.
In 1997, James wrote his book, Demonology. But it's not what you think. It's less Dungeons and Dragons and more James justifying and explaining the witch trials in Scotland. And again, I remind you, no other monarch in...
No, they're not. That's not what they are. That's just blatant. There's one chapter where he talks about witches. He talks about vampires and everything else and terminology. It's an academic work. That's just not true. So,
in the history of the West, dared write such a book. Many of them didn't write books anyway, but what they did, they would write it on politics or the faith or something. But this was written by not only a king, but a very well-educated one. And so the book, Demonology, is cast as a Socratic dialogue between two fictional characters. Philomathus, a curious skeptic or a lover of learning, as his name says, and Epistomen, a fervent believer. Now, this is hardly new in theology or philosophy or anything else. It's not even that new in royal propaganda. But to make this about demons and witches, that is altogether new. You see, James, now 31, steeped in his Protestantism, argued that witches were no myth.
I guess I should extrapolate that. That's a tactic Plato used, I think, in Gregarious, where you'd have two guys arguing back and forth, and Pluto demonstrated the Socratic method through that. So, yeah, it's a takeoff like Greek philosophy. That's why he did it that way. So, yeah. Okay, and for the record, yeah, he doesn't just talk about witches. He talks about vampires. He talks about different types of supernatural entities. So to say that this was a reaction to the Salem witch trials, it wasn't. That's just not a fair coloring of that.
They forged pacts with the devil, committed high treason against God. That's the important point that he argued, which is a crime that is a capital crime, deserving death. And he anchored his book in Exodus 22:18. Thou shalt not suffer a witch to live. Now, anyone who's read the Bible has read that verse. They know what it means. What James is doing here, though, is giving a particular cast or a particular style to what a witch is. The book is about 80 pages, and it unfolds into three little short parts. The first probes magic and necromancy, tracing their dark arts to ancient grimoires located in abandoned castles all throughout Europe. The second unpacks witchcraft and sorcery itself and gives detailed instructions on how the pacts are sealed with Satan's mark and other types of lurid stories. And then
yeah, the vampire stuff isn't... Yeah, there is magic and necromancy, but vampires and revenants, they're called revenants. It's like a whole other category. So yeah, that's not all there.
Yeah.
So...
And the third and final part of the book explores the nomenclature and the existence of spirits and specters, from ghostly apparitions to full-on demonic possessions. What's interesting...
Can I point out, this is why you go to first-hand sources. Because if I hadn't read this prior, I wouldn't have known that. And it would have been his coloring of the thing. So I can tell you, because I've read it, and you can get it on Amazon and read it too, that he's wrong about that. That's not correct. It's not a whatever that book is, it's not a reaction to those witch trials. Now, he might have pointed to some of the things that he saw during the witch trials when writing about witches, but that doesn't mean he's justifying what he's doing or this book is in any way of reaction to what happened. He's the king. Yeah. Why would he write a reaction paper? He doesn't need to. He's divine. So...
Yeah. About the book is James doesn't shy away from the lurid. Witches, he claimed, were able to raise storms and sink ships. They could shapeshift, turn into wolves under the moonlight. And they even aided the devil in his, let's just call it, seductions of women. And they even reanimated corpses in order to enact their own carnal desires there. You see, demonology is not a scholar's book. It's a royal rallying cry aimed squarely at silencing doubters. And there were doubters. Famously, Reginald Scott, 1584, wrote The Discovery of Witches, which was printed in London. And this book dismissed witchcraft as trickery and other things designed to distort the mind. In other words, it was more like a magic trick than an orgy of witches and blood. James, though, was incensed, and he actually ordered that Scott's book be burned in 1597 on those same streets in Edinburgh, on High
Beta.
Street, where those previous witches
I said beta.
had burned, now burned the book that raised questions about witchcraft in the first place. So demonology bears James' intellectual and paranoia at the same time in equal measures. It's not a very good book either in the end. Trust me, I've spent a lot of time on James. He actually is very, very good when he's dealing with politics. When he's dealing with witches, he's crazy. I'll just say it. He's lost his mind. And he leans heavily.
He's really not, though, because you can look at his book and compare it to other lore.
Do you like the book?
Like it, I finished it quickly, which is rare. It kept my attention.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah, and it's not anything particularly new. He read that from other stuff. So it's not that he's crazy or being paranoid. He was looking at other firsthand sources, and he made a condensed version of it in like this Greek philosophy format.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it is. So no, he's not crazy. It's an academic work in the respect that he's compiling a bunch of information. And yeah, he might have added some stuff from his own experiences into that, but that's not all he was doing. Yeah. So this is a very unfair characterization of that book. Although his reaction to Reginald Scott is correct. He did try to burn the book. So he was not happy. It's like, well, he's divine. How dare you challenge me?
Into the tortured confessions of Agnes Sampson and John Fian. Not hard evidence. He's essentially recounting made-up stories drawn out only under torture. In other words, demonology is inciting a fear that doesn't actually exist. James did inspire, though, one major idea. It literally is the source of how we, today, view witches ever since. See, this is the ironic twist. James, by trying to describe witches, actually created out of full cloth the very concept of what you and I consider to be a witch in the first place.
Yep. Yeah.
You see, when James came to the throne of England, now James I, in 1603, his book crossed the Tweed and inspired William Shakespeare. I've already mentioned it. With the toil and trouble, cauldron bubbling kind of concept. 1606, it's staged in London's Globe Theatre. And the play has Scottish witches right front and center, brewing potions and giving stormy omens. And this was a theatrical tribute to the king's wrath against the witches. And yet, ever since, the very idea of a witch itself, though it has evolved a little with new little wrinkles and flying brooms and things added after the fact, all of it is really intact here in the 1600s. You see, those images in James' mind as he lay awake at night in Scotland, those fantasy witches, are in part what you and I consider to be witches ever since. The North Berwick Trials were just the beginning. Between the 1590s and the mid-18th century, an estimated 4,000 to 6,000 people, and mostly women from the lowlands, were tried for witchcraft in Scotland. This is not some fear of superstition, obviously. There is a lot going on here. But that rate in Scotland is far, far higher than almost any other country in Europe at the time. England, for example, this is a hard way to say it, only, quote-unquote, only executed about 1,000 witches over those same centuries. So you see, Scotland is outpacing people by a factor of 4 or 6 times. What's interesting is by the end of his life, as he grew older, James himself grew more skeptical, especially after becoming King of England, where witch hunts were less common. Still, though, it was not until 1736 when the Witchcraft Act was finally repealed. But Scotland's witch hunts and James's book on demonology left a scar and set the precedent for centuries.
Okay, I disagree with that somewhat. Number one, James didn't do any more. After that one incident, he was done. Yeah. Whatever happened afterwards, I mean, you can't necessarily fault James. But you also can't necessarily fault James for the description of witches, because they were doing it in Denmark before he had his trials. His might have been the most notorious, but it was a common. Yeah, he might have popularized it, but he didn't start it.
Yeah.
So I disagree. And he left out a very major detail, in my opinion. From what I understand, based on having read it, based on memory, because he didn't bring it up, I feel like an impulse to double check it. But based on what I remember of reading the Articles of Scotland that described that, let me pull it up again. So, give me just a second here. Yeah. So this book here that goes through the whole thing is the Articles of Scotland. Yeah. There were multiple people who talked about the same event. Like, there was corroborating evidence. It wasn't just one person who talked about this midnight mass thing with the devil. I showed you the devil making everybody kiss their butt, and then the voodoo thing. Like, there were varying accounts about how that happened.
Yeah.
But they were talking about a specific event. So, yeah, they were tortured. That's true, and that defeats a lot of their testimony, like the validity of their testimony. But they talked about the same things. So something was going on. Doesn't mean what happened was right. It's just they may have actually had the ritual, or they may have got really drunk and pretended to have a ritual. Like, something happened. It's not like the whole thing was just, nonsense. Like, there was some kind of thing that they did. So, torturing is bad. Burning witches is probably not a good thing. But let's try to be accurate. I feel like that, you shouldn't just ignore details. Like, multiple people did say the same thing. And that was factored in. So, now the first girl's testimony, I think they were suspect of that. But it's like, again, you'd have to go back. This is my memory, and I haven't checked it, haven't verified it. This is my memory after reading it. It was like she was on the periphery of something, and while being tortured, she spouted, she fessed up to some random thing she'd been a part of. Like, if I were to guess, like just pure speculation, I would say that, she's not gathering herbs like a saint. She's probably out partying with her friends, and they went and did something goofy and said, let's kill King James for a ritual one night. Because, it's a pagan culture, and it was like a gag.
Yeah.
And then it turned into a big thing. That would be my guess. So. Yeah. Maybe. It's all speculation. But the moral of the story is read firsthand sources. Anyway. Trevor, you got any final thoughts? You're being quiet again.
Who's being quiet?
You, sir.
Oh.
Well.
Sorry.
That's a hole in the ground.
What?
I said, well, that's a hole in the ground.
That's a hole in the ground.
I'm gonna dig all night long.
But why, though?
To see if I can see your lights in the sky.
Yeah, good luck with that. I hope you see him.
Yeah, good luck indeed.
Yeah.
I brought 2 cameras just in case.
Did you bring a shovel?
Yeah, dude, you have to.
You can't dig with a camera.
Listen, they're there every night in the summer. You could come to my place, stand in my yard exactly where I stand, and record them yourself. They are there from like 10:45 to like 2 sometime in the morning.
And then we'll get in the car and drive and get closer.
I don't know how you could do that. I mean, those roads are so. Like, I'm on a hill, so you can see far off. Once you get into the holler, James Holler,
You could set a compass heading.
Yeah, you could set a compass heading. That's what I did. I used Google Maps to figure out where they were, figure out where north was and where they're actually showing up at. But, yeah.
You said they moved from winter, or
they were
from last year to this year?
Well, it's been over the course of the year. I don't know what they are, but they seem seasonal because they start out this year. They start out in the Northwest, and originally it was they start out in the Northwest and they'd go north, and then they'd slowly go to the east, as it got closer to morning until you couldn't see them anymore. This year, it's like as the years went on, they've just got closer and closer to the north and stopped showing up in the northwest. So now they're just in the north. But it's like they're on a loop. It's like I don't want to say an orbit because I wouldn't know what they were orbiting around.
Right.
But it's like they're on some kind of rotation, some kind of route.
Interesting.
Yeah. So I don't know what they are. It's strange,
Witches,
though.
bro.
I don't know.
Probably witches.
Yeah, witches.
Banana.
I'll go build a steak empire and get them ready.
Yeah, don't singe your fluffy collar.
Thumb screws out.
Yeah. What'd you say, Cody?
I said, get your thumb screws out.
Yeah, get your thumb screws out. You know, gotta get that confession first. So.
Oh no, I'm not into that stuff.
Dark story. Read first-hand sources though and be accurate because they color it a little weird sometimes. All right.
I got your coloring.
Okay, sweet. You're just saying random things. I don't even know how to respond. Okay. Guys, that's all we have for the night. Any final thoughts, gentlemen?
No, sir.
Responding will set you free.
All right.
That's not even... Don't listen to Trevor, people.
Don't. I recommend don't listening to me.
I recommend... Our tens of listeners will be very disappointed.
Yeah, I know, they're waiting with bated breath for your words of wisdom. So...
Wait, I'm not supposed to listen to Trevor?
Or wisdom of words.
There you go. He's our sage in the Dragon Ball Z cap.
Based.
All right. Guys, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.
And don't die.
Don't die. Don't listen to Trevor.
You can't
Don't
see
die.
it.
Goodbye, all.